Good afternoon and welcome to Brazil Stadium. Michael Potter here with you as the Lopes and the Jayhawks get set for Game 2 of this two-game set here. The Jayhawks won it last night. 9-4 was the final. The Lopes put 17 on, 11 walks and 6 hit batters. 9-4 the final. The Jayhawks win it just underway here in the first inning. We've already got a man on second with a double with one out. Gabe Benavides facing Matt McLaughlin, the number 3 hole hitter for Kansas. First pitch misses, ball 1. Rudy Carey led off for the Jayhawks, flew out to deep left field in his first on the first pitch. Cosentino hit a shot into right center field that got past Garrison Schwartz, but Preston Pavlica was backing him up, so a double, man on second, one out, one on. Ground ball down to third. Zach Malice on a knee, fires in time for the out. So quickly now, 2 down, and Devin Foyle coming up to the plate. Starting pitcher Gabe Benavides. Benavides wears number 14. The sophomore lefty out of Wilcox, Arizona. Gabe, a 5.32 ERA. This is his third start of the season in 22 innings, 32 hits, 16 runs, 13 earned. Walked 10 and struck out 13 opposition, hitting .337 against Gabe Benavides. We'll get to set on the defense momentarily here, but he'll face Devin Foyle. There are 4 Arizona kids on this Kansas Jayhawk roster. Foyle is one of them. Foyle out of Fountain Hills, Arizona. Played at Fountain Hill High. He's a switch-hitting sophomore left fielder, so he's up there from the right side. Foyle hitting .250 on the season, no homers and 21 RBI. He's got an RBI opportunity out there at second base. Ground ball foul down toward third base. Oh, 1 count to Foyle. Last night, the Jayhawks got the victory 9-4, just 8 hits in that one. 11 walks and 6 hit batters by 5 pitchers for the Lopes. The 0-1 is outside, 1-1. Taking a look at the defense behind Gabe Benavides for the Lopes. Quinn Cotton gets a start in left. Pavlica in center, Schwartz in right. Malice, Wyatt, Bull, and Signs around the horn third to first, and Josh Meyer, the battery mate of Gabe Benavides. So a few changes to the defense for Coach Stankiewicz. The 1-1. Tried to check his swing, didn't matter. In there for strike 1 and 2. The biggest change really, Signs over there at first base and Wyatt at short. Mark Mumper taking a seat on the bench here in this one. Tom LaRouge is still in there as DH hitting, but the coach wanted to get Quinn Cotton's bat in there. As opposed to DHing him and putting LaRouge in left, he decided to put Quinn out there. Pavlica in center field and Schwartz in right. Up high. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, in the start of the ball game yesterday, starting pitcher Tyler Hansen, the freshman lefty, got 2 quick strikeouts, but then a double, a walk, and a flyout. Got out of the inning unscathed, but just continued to put guys on base with walks and hit batters, and that was the problem for GCU yesterday. Really quickly through the lineup for the Jayhawks. Rudy Carey led off in center field. He flew out to left. James Cosentino is out second with the double. Matt McLaughlin had the ground out to third, and Devin Foyle, the cleanup batter, at the plate now. Jax Groshans, the DH, is on deck. Ground ball to third again. Malice has it. Should be the inning. The throw over to Signs in time, and that is the inning. So, nicely done by Benavides. He pitches around the 1-out double, a couple of ground outs and a flyout. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a man left on base. We go to the bottom of the first. No score here. Lopes coming up. Well, congratulations, class of 2017, and welcome GCU families. GCU TV will be streaming all ceremonies the next 3 days, so none of your friends and family miss out on the celebration. For times and more information, visit gcu.edu/commencement and watch the stream live on YouTube and GCU TV. Exciting time of the year. Had Fletcher Like on the broadcast with me last night. He's going to be graduating tomorrow. A lot of folks on campus for those commencement ceremonies. Let's get right to the batting order for GCU. We go to the bottom of the first with no score, and the Lopes will send Austin Bull to the plate, the switch hitting second baseman. Tom LaRouge, the DH, bats second. Garrison Schwartz, the junior right fielder and preseason WAC Player of the Year, bats third. Preston Pavlica, the sophomore and center, bats fourth. Zach Malice, the third baseman, bats fifth. Tyler Wyatt playing shortstop today bats 6th. Greg Sines getting a start at first base, bats 7th. Josh Meyer behind the plate, bats 8th. And Quinn Cotton, the freshman in left field, bats 9th. So Bull, LaRue, Schwartz, Pavlik, Malice, Wyatt, Sines, Meyer, and Cotton. Jader Rincon on the mound, the junior left-hander for this Jayhawk squad. Rincon getting the start here. A 7.83 ERA, a record of 0-2. This is his 5th start of the season. In 23 innings, Rincon, 29 hits, 22 runs, 20 earned. He's walked 15 and struck out 19. Opposition hitting .299 against Jader Rincon. Defensively, behind Rincon, Devin Foyle in left, Rudy Carey in center, Brett Vosick in right. David Kiriakou at third, Matt McLaughlin at short, James Constantino at second, and Marcus Wheeler at first. Tanner Gregg behind home plate doing the catching. So Bull will lead things off for GCU. No score. We are in the bottom of the first, just underway. A gorgeous day here, about 85 degrees and sunny skies. We've seen the ball carry pretty well here during the day. Had 3 home runs and a couple balls off the wall on Sunday against UTRGV. First pitch in there for strike 1. John Schiller calling balls and strikes behind home plate. Steve Mattingly at first, Jason Rogers at third. We double check just to make sure. There's a distant relation between Steve Mattingly and Don Mattingly, but they've never met. In there for a strike. So quickly, Rincon ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. I asked Mattingly before the game, because that's the first thing you think of when you see that name, right? And if you're around baseball. I said, hey, you related to Don? He said, well, our grandfathers were related distantly, both from Kentucky. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Ball in the dirt. Gregg the throw down to Wheeler. And Bull strikes out to start the ball game for the Lopes. Well, Bull had been getting on base about half the time, hitting .485 as a leadoff and a .448 on base percentage, but got on base twice last night. A single and a walk, but not so here. 1 up, 1 down. LaRouge at the plate. LaRouge has seen some time in the outfield this year. Mainly been used as a DH. Pitch misses down low. 1-0 the count. Tommy hitting .340 on the season. Just 1 homer, 17 RBI. Missed some time early. Still recovering from that shoulder injury he sustained last season. The 1-0. Little flare. Going to get over the shortstop's head and just perfectly placed once again by LaRouge. We've seen him lace some base hits, but we've also seen quite a few that are just perfectly placed over the infielders' heads, and Lopes have a man aboard. So now each team has gotten a man aboard in the first inning. The double by Cosentino with 1 out. He could advance no further, and now the single by LaRouge with 1 out. Garrison Schwartz now at the plate. Schwartz starting to get things figured out here. .288 on the year, 4 homers and 33 RBI. You talk to the coaching staff, they like the at-bats he's been putting together of late. Boy, that was very close to coming home there on that step. We see Repovich do that exact same thing, really make the first base umpire make a call on the balk, that lead leg. Close to coming home. LaRouge over at first. See if the Lopes want to try to run here. Another throw over quickly. Tom LaRouge, 3 for 4 in stolen bases.
Garrison in the ball game yesterday. 2 for.
Fastball in there, strike 1. Garrison, the preseason WAC player of the year, had the walk-off base hit against UTRGV on Sunday, but had a phenomenal series against the Vaqueros, and he's the reigning WAC hitter of the week because of it. Throw over, and LaRouge very close to the bag, just gets back easily. Garrison in that series, just coming off the UTRGV series, hit .615, 8 for 13, 2 runs, a couple of doubles, and 7 RBI. Walked once and struck out once in that series, the reigning WAC hitter of the week. Gary was picked as we mentioned, as the preseason WAC Player of the Year. But Zach Malice was on that first team as an at-large bid, the only two Lopes with preseason honors in the Western Athletic Conference. On the outside corner, paints it. So no balls and 2 strikes. Schwartz ready to go here. Talked to Coach Stankiewicz after the ball game last night. Very disappointed in the way the Lopes pitched, of course, with 11 walks and 6 hit batters. Jeremy Smith, the one bright spot, retired in 9 in a row in his 3 innings of work. Just waves at a high fastball. Boy, Gary took a couple and then couldn't catch up to one. So 2 outs in the inning, both by the strikeout. That'll bring out Pavlica. Pavlica, the right-handed hitting sophomore, playing center field. We've seen him in the left a few times. Good to see him back out there. Missed 27 ball games with a wrist injury. 244 on the year, 1 homer, 4 RBI. That 1 homer over the scoreboard in left center Friday night against UTRGV. That one just missed. Take a little off-speed offering there. 1-0 to Pavlica. Pavlica checking down. We'll see if Coach Stankiewicz puts something on now with your cleanup man up there. See if he wants to get LaRouge rolling. Tommy, as we mentioned, 3 for 4 in stolen bases. Not a huge lead over there, though. Rincon's going to throw over. Well, last night, we had about a 22 to 25 mile an hour wind blowing in from left field. Today, that's 7-8 mile an hour wind gusting at the most. Blowing that same direction. Rip down the left field line. That might get to the corner. Foil all the way over. LaRouge on his horse, but he's going to have to stop at third. A 2-out double by Pavlica, and Lopes have 2 runners in scoring position.
Now batting number 13, third baseman, Zach Malice.
So both teams with a double, and now the Lopes with 2 in scoring position for Malice. Foyle played it well. No way he could cut it off and hold that to a single. LaRouge would have more than likely been the third anyways, but Foyle got it in quickly, keeping Tom from being able to score. So now a lefty-lefty matchup here. Zach Malice at the plate. Lopes trying to draw first blood here. GCU never led in the ballgame last night. A pitch in there for strike 1. Zach in 272, 1 homer, 15 RBI. A couple out there right now. Base hit, you would think, would score 2 because Pavlica good speed out there at second. Base hit with 2 outs, and LaRouge would just coast home. The 0-1 from Rincon. Too far outside. 1-1. Malice 0 for 4 in the ballgame last night. The 1-1. Fastball down low. 2-1. So now a good count for Malice. Should get a pitch to hit here. Zach hitting 262 with runners in scoring position, but only a $184 on the season with 2 outs. Ty Wyatt on deck. No score here in the bottom of the first. The 2-1. Foul back. Out of play. 2-2. So now the deuce is wild with 2 balls and 2 strikes and 2 outs. 2 runners on. Lopes' record of 19-20, 13-2 in WAC play. Trying to even their season record back at 500. They hadn't been 500 since February 25th until they got back and even with that walk-off win on Sunday. That didn't last too long with the loss here last night. The 2-2. Strike 3 called in the outside corner. Well, Rincon strikes out the side here in the first, but a base hit, single, and double put 2 Lopes in scoring position. Just couldn't get the base hit they needed. No runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 left on base. We've completed 1. No score here from Brazel. This is GCU Lopes baseball on GCU TV. Welcome back to Brazil Stadium. Michael Potter here with you. Lopes baseball against the Jayhawks of Kansas University. 4th year in a row these teams have matched up. Rich Price, the skipper, in his 15th season. He's got his team at 20 wins and 20 losses, but 8-7 in conference, coming off a nice series win against OU in Norman. First time they've won a series in Norman since 2009. No scores. We go to the second. Gabe Benavides getting the start. The sophomore lefty for GCU faced 4, gave up a double, but stranded Costantino out there at second. He'll face Groshans, Kiriakou, and Wheeler. First pitch to Jax Groshans. Groshans was the catcher in the ballgame last night. Had 3 walks in the ballgame, a double, and came around to score twice. Missed outside. 2-0 the count now to Groshans. So Groshans hitting .220 on the season. In there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Groshans, a freshman catcher out of Magnolia, Texas. Getting the DH job here today. Getting a break behind the plate. The 2-1 inside. Well, these Jayhawks, they like to get up on the plate. Part of the reason why, maybe part of the reason why there were 11 walks and 6 hit batters, but really it was just the fact that 4 of the 5 pitchers for the Lips last night had no command. Couldn't find the strike zone. 3-1 from Benavides. Ripped down the line. If it's fair, it's going to be trouble, but hooking, foul. So 3-ball, 2 strike count now. Well, you look at last night for the Jayhawks. They got 1 in the second, 3 in the third. The Lopes answered with 3 in the fourth, so we had a nice ball game. Jeremy Smith came in, pitched 3 innings for the Lopes and faced the minimum. Got 9 out in a row, and then the wheels fell off in the 7th inning. Lackey came in, went 2/3, gave up 5 earned runs in that inning, and it was a 9-4 victory for Kansas. The 3-2. Just got a piece of it, fouled it back. That might have caught a piece. I think it might have caught a piece of Josh Meyer behind home plate. So McLaughlin, Kiriakou, and Souza Paluhi, the only 3 that didn't get walked in that ball game. Malice ranges to his left. Boy, there, testing Zach Malice. He succeeds again, and ground balls to third have retired the last 3 batters. David Kiriakou. Kiriakou, the left-handed hitting sophomore third baseman. You see Malice ranging over there in front of Ty Wyatt. Keep an eye on that left side of the infield. Wyatt's played shortstop quite a bit. His high school days and then in college. First pitch, a breaking pitch in there for strike 1. Ty, of course, out there at short today. Mumper getting a seat on the bench. Mumper's been fantastic defensively. He struggled a bit at the plate, hitting under 200, but does have a home run. Swing and a miss, 0-2. So they decide to get another bat in there at short. The 0-2, Benavides working quickly. Wouldn't chase that one outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Marcus Wheeler on deck for the Jayhawks. Getaway day for Kansas. Getting out of like a 6:30 flight later on tonight. Getting back into Lawrence this evening. The 1-2. That one ripped up the middle. Line drive base hit. Pavlica comes over and snags it, so 1 out base hit, and the Jayhawks have had a runner aboard in each inning now. Just in the second, Marcus Wheeler at the plate. Wheeler, the right-handed senior out of Phoenix, Arizona, and Thunderbird High. Where's number 33? Wheeler hitting a .194 on the year, 1 homer and 7 RBI. Wheeler walked a couple times last night, was hit by a pitch, had an RBI single, and scored 3 times in the ballgame. Actually, apologize, he scored twice. And it was Owen Taylor who came in and got the walk and the hit batter. That first one misses 1-0. So Wheeler in the ball game was 1 for 2, but a walk, an RBI single, and 2 runs scored. The 1-0. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. Nicely done. The Lopes turned a couple double plays early in the ball game on bases loaded settings. See if they can get one here to get out of the inning. They turned a 6-4-3 to end the inning in the second and a 4-6-3 to end it with the bases loaded in the third. Kiriakou, not a huge lead. Little ground ball, could be two. Wyatt, underhand to Bull, back to Signs, and a 6-4-3 double play. So for the second game in a row, the Lopes end the second inning with a 6-4-3 double play. No runs on one hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the second, no score here at Brazel. Get the best gear to show off your Lope pride. Go to lopeshops.gcu.edu to find everything GCU, from the newest apparel to the coolest accessories. Use promo code GCUTV20 to get 20% off for being a GCU TV viewer. Let's paint the Valley purple. Lopes up. And hey, get this. Free shipping in honor of Commencement Week. So you got that going for you. 20% off and free shipping. What could be better? I guess 30% off, and if we paid you to ship it, that could be better. But pretty good, 20% off and free shipping. Check it out, lopeshops.gcu.edu. No score here. Bottom of the second inning. Wyatt, Signs, and Meyer due up for GCU. Couple of lefties throwing for each squad here. In this one, I mentioned Kansas was getting out of here and heading back home to Lawrence tonight after the ball game. They host Baylor in Big 12 play to close out April, the month of April. And they've got slate of home games. So back to Baylor, then Missouri State, Texas Southern. Then they host Kansas State, then finish off on the road at Creighton and at Texas Tech. And then, of course, the Big 12 championships for this squad. But playing well, starting to get on a bit of a roll now. 8-7 in Big 12 play. And look at this KU ball club, middle of the pack there in the Big 12. Actually fourth, so in the top third there. So Wyatt will lead off the second. Goes after the first pitch, skies it into right center field. Carey coming over, he's going to make the grab. So one pitch, one out here as Wyatt flies out to the center fielder, Rudy Carey. Bring up Greg Signs.
Now batting number 8, first baseman.
Well, Wyatt came into the weekend series against UTRGV, one of the hottest hitters in the conference, hitting close to 500, but he went 0 for 9 in that series and having a little trouble getting things going here since coming home to the friendly confines, or not so friendly confines, of Brazel Stadium for Ty. Signs playing first base here. We've seen him mostly, predominantly this season at the DH position. Played a little second base earlier in the year when the Lopes were trying to figure out if they wanted Bull to play short and who would play second. Eventually decided that Bull was better at second and Mumper was the guy out at short, the 1-0. Up high, 2-0. Greg Signs in .293 on the year, 2 homers, 7 RBI. Lopes, after this one, they busted down to Las Cruces for the biggest conference series of the year for GCU and for New Mexico State. 2-0. 3-0. Good eye by Signs. Signs slugging .400 as a .329 on base percentage. Well, you look at the Western Athletic Conference standings, and there's really only 2 teams that have a crack at it, winning the conference title. It's New Mexico State and GCU. And anything can happen. There's still time, but be doubtful if one of those 2 teams isn't your WAC champion. Ball 4. So Lopes have a runner aboard. So now both teams have had runners on in each inning. Now we bring up Josh Meyer.
The catcher, Josh Meyer.
Meyer, the catcher for the second game in a row here at Brazel. Meyer walked in the second last night. He doubled in a couple runs and scored in the fourth. That's when the Lopes got all their runs, all 3. He drove in 2 of them and scored the third. And then a ground out to second. Didn't factor in the run they scored in the 7th. That was the top of the order. And then he walked in the 8th. So Josh seen the ball well. Signs, not really a threat to go anywhere, but that ball in the dirt, he might take off if he reads one well. Meyer ripped the ball to left center field for his double last night. Andy Stankiewicz going through the signs, and now, all of a sudden, Jader Rincon having some trouble finding the strike zone. Walks Signs on 4 straight. That's his 5th ball in a row. Meyer hitting .283, no homers, 11 RBI. See if he can put a charge into one here. Oh, in the dirt. Bounces away from Grag behind on plate, and Signs takes a big turn down there at second. That ball got way far away from Grag. So the wild pitch moves Signs into scoring position. Second inning in a row that the Lopes have had a man in scoring position. So now 6 straight balls after Wyatt chased the first pitch, which might have been a ball itself. It looked a little high. And Rincon having some trouble. Grag goes out and has a word with his pitcher. Well, starkly different innings for Rincon. He did give up a couple of hits in the first inning, but he struck out the side. Here he can't find a strike zone. With one out, Lopes have Signs in scoring position and a 2-0 count to Meyer. See if they give the big fella the green light. They did. A ground ball, didn't get all of it. McLaughlin's got it, fires it over, and the runner cannot advance. So a wasted opportunity there for GCU, and they'll need a 2-out base knock. Well, you obviously want to get a little better swing on it on a 2-0 count. Looked like a little movement on that, and Meyer just grounds it out to short. McLaughlin, though, had some trouble out there at short. A couple of errors yesterday. Got some bad hops out there as well. Quinn Cotton, the right-handed hitting freshman left fielder. Quinn hitting .299, no homers, 7 RBI. Signs in scoring position. Lopes have had a man in scoring position, at least one man in scoring position, both innings, but nobody's come across to score. 1-0. Cotton, the freshman out of Parker, Colorado. Regis Jesuit. We've seen Quinn play a lot of DH here, play in the outfield here today. The 1-0. Check his signs at second. The pitch. Chopped foul. 1-1. For Quinn, 26 games played coming into this one, 17 starts. Playing Quinn to pull a bit. Carey in center field shaded toward left. Big gap in right center field. And then Vosick off the line a bit as well. The 1-1. 2 outs. Man on second. Rincon's pitch. Popped him up on the right side. Wheeler right on the line. Shades from the sun with the bare hand and makes the grab. So the Lopes get the 1-out walk. Advanced Signs to second on the wild pitch. That's as far as he can go. No runs on no hits, no errors, a man left on base. We've completed 2. No score here from Brazel. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV.
Earning your RN to BSN degree online doesn't have to be without the college experience. Finding your purpose takes support from those around you. GCU's leadership offers over 3 decades of experience delivering our accredited RN to BSN program 100% online. Graduate in as few as 16 months, learning from full-time practicing nurse faculty in small classes. Integrate your education with your faith and Christian worldview.
Find your purpose online at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
No score here at Brazel as we go to the third. Each team with a couple of hits. Each team has had runners on in each inning, and Jayhawks had a man in scoring position with 1 out in the first, couldn't get him across. The Lopes had runners at second and third with 2 outs and could not get the run across. Had a runner on second with just 1 out in the second, could advance him no further. Gabe Benavides back on the mound for GCU, getting the start here on a Wednesday afternoon game. Both teams heading into conference play over the weekend. Lopes heading on the road to Las Cruces, and the Jayhawks heading home for Baylor. Lopes up a half a game in the standings over New Mexico State. No other team over 500 in the standings. Mexico State's got a higher winning percentage, but they have still 3 games to play, so the Lopes have that half-game lead. And GCU really wants to have a pretty good-sized lead going into the final weekend when they are not playing in conference. Vosick, Cragg, and Carey due up. 8-9-1. First pitch from Benavides in there for strike 1. Vosick, the left-handed hitting freshman right fielder. Vosick 2 for 3 with a run and an RBI and a walk in the ball game yesterday. 0-2 the count now to Brett Vosick. Look at Vosick hitting the 8-hole yesterday. That pitch missed outside. Was hit by a pitch his first time up, singled in a run. His second time up, struck out, then singled and scored in the 7th, and then was walked. So that guy was on base every time but the one he struck out. Lefty to lefty, fouls it off, staying alive. 1 ball and 2 strike the count to Brett Vosick. Vosick hitting .241 on the season. 1 homer, 13 RBI. He has struck out 32 times for the Jayhawks. Trying to paint the corner, missed it. 2 balls and 2 strike the count. We talked to Coach Stankiewicz prior to the game. He said really other than the 3 starters on Sunday, and he didn't really name his Sunday starter. We assume it'll be Schneider, but Deeganhart has pitched well of late here, so he might get another crack at it on Sunday. I would imagine those are the 4 guys who aren't going to throw today. If we see Deegan or Jack throw today, it'll give us an idea of who's going to start on Sunday. But the 2 Jakes are not going to pitch here in this one. He did say he'd be more than happy to use A.J. Franks and Mick Voroff late in the game to maybe get a save. Hopes had to put some runs on the board first. The 2-2. Checked his swing, so the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Good at bat by Vosick. Fouling him off, staying alive, and working a full count. The 3-2. In there for a strike. Boy, took a little bit off of that one. First strike out of the ball game for Benavides. And boy, this is really good to see for GCU because they struggled right out of the gate. The first 2 pitchers in the ball game yesterday, Hansen and Andrews, had 5 walks between them. Benavides getting them going in the right path here. Tanner Gregg, the junior catcher. Swing and a miss on a pitch on the outside. Looked like he might have taken a little bit off of that one too. Gregg getting .241 homer, 6 RBI. Jax Groshans caught last night. He's in there as a DH today, the 0-1. That hit him. Boy, barely grazed him, but we saw enough of that last night to last us for the rest of the season. Lopes hit 6. They hit 7th of the 2-game series right here. And that barely grazed him, but it got him. Top of the order, Rudy Carey. Carey flew out to left on the first pitch he saw. Rips that one to left, but hooking foul. Gets in the bullpen. And if you look down there at the bullpen for GCU, typically the Lopes don't send anybody to the bullpen until about the 5th inning, and I'd imagine typically the Jayhawks don't put anybody in the bullpen. But because this is one of those getaway days and you're not sure what you're going to get from your starters, kind of a staff day for both squads, both teams have guys down in the bullpen. Nobody throwing, but down there and ready to get loose. The 0-1 to Carey. In the dirt, blocked nicely by Meyer. 1-1. Rudy Carey in the ball game last night. Carey struck out his first time up and then was hit by a pitch in his next 2 at-bats. Both times he was hit by a pitch, he drove in a run because the bases were loaded. He had a base hit single in the 7th that drove in 2, so had 4 RBI on 1 hit, and it was not a grand slam. The 1-1. That one hit pretty well and pretty deep to left center. Nobody's going to catch up with that one. Off of the wall. Pavlik has some trouble with it. Are they going to try to score him? No, Richie Price is going to hold him up. So not aggressive base running there, and Wyatt had some trouble getting the ball back in. I thought when Pavlik booted it out there just one time, I thought they might try to score, but they're going to hold him up. They had the catcher out there running, Gregg, so Richie Price says, hey, why push it with just 1 out? We got the heart of the order coming up. Pavlik got there in a hurry, but looked like it kicked kind of weirdly off the wall. So second double of the ball game for the Jayhawks, and now they are in business with 2 runners in scoring position, just 1 out, and number 2 hole hitter and number 3 hole hitter coming up. Cosentino, he doubled his first time up in the first inning. So twice Carey's hit the ball well to left. He flew out to the warning track his first time up. The double here puts a couple in scoring position. Tried to check his swing, but went around for strike 1. Well, we're looking down in that bullpen, and Deeganhart is in the bullpen. Jack Schneider is in the dugout, so that would make you think that Schneider's a Sunday starter, and Deegan might throw here today. Why not? Jack had a tough outing against UTRGV, but the freshman's done well in that Sunday role for the Lopes. The 0-1 to Cosentino. Ripped over the head of the second baseman, and they're going to try to score the runner. The throw's going to come in at the plate. Did they get him? They did. Carey tried to slide around the tag. What a throw from the right fielder, Garrison Schwartz. We've talked about his offense so much. Sometimes you forget what a good right fielder he is. One run does come across to score easily. That's Greg. And then Richie Price getting aggressive there, trying to score Carey from second base on that base hit that was hit pretty hard out to right. And Gary guns him down for the second out of the inning. So Cosentino gets the base hit single in the RBI. And the throw was so good, too, just right over the cutoff man's head, that Cosentino couldn't advance to second on the throw. 1-0 Jayhawks. McLaughlin at the plate with a runner on first and 2 outs now. Well, the one runner coming across, the throw there, and nice job there by Josh Meyer. Blocking the plate right as he gets the ball and making the tag, and Carey is retired. Greg scored easily. Ooh. There goes the bat. It hits off of the netting, and all the guys watching to make sure that bat didn't come flying back and hit him. Now Greg Wallace going to deliver the bat back to Matt McLaughlin. And look at Wally making him walk all the way over to the dugout for it. Attaboy. So Cosentino rips it into right. Price was not aggressive with Tanner Gregg, his catcher, because he held him up down at third, the double before. But boy, with his leadoff man and the speedster Carey out there, he tried to score him. And it took a perfect throw and a perfect tag, and the Lopes got it from Garrison Schwartz. Garrison Schwartz with 4 assists now on the season. Cosentino at first. They're keeping him close with 2 outs. See if they might try to run him here. He is 6 for 10 in stolen bases. Doesn't have a huge lead over there at first. Pitch to the shortstop, McLaughlin. Fouls it back. No balls and 2 strikes. McLaughlin ground out to the third baseman. Zach Malice, his last time up. First at bat of the ball game last night, McLaughlin ripped one off the wall and left, a double into that headwind. Just tattooed it. Had there been no wind, it would have been out of the park by quite a bit. But went 0 for 5 the rest of the night. Fouled off. McLaughlin 1 for 6. That double in the first, and after that, he ground into a 6-4-3 double play. He flew out to left. He lined out to first. He struck out, and he grounded out a comebacker to the pitcher. No balls and 2 strikes. McLaughlin hitting .291 on the year. 2 homers, 21 RBI. The pitch missed outside, 1-2. Trying to get him to chase. Cosentino at first. 1-0 Jayhawks. Greg scored the only run of the ball game, and he was put on as a hit batter. Have to do the math here. The first 4 runners that scored in the ball game yesterday, the first 3 were put on base with walks by GCU. Four of the 9 that scored last night were put on with free passes. 2-2 count now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cosentino leading off at first. Benavides. The pitch. Ground ball down to third. A high hop on a kind of a crazy hop there, but Malice able to stay with it for the second time in as many at-bats. McLaughlin grounds out to the third baseman, Zach Malice, and that is the inning. But the Jayhawks get 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and a man left on base. We go to the bottom of the third. 1-0 Jayhawks with the lead. The World Hip Hop Dance Championship is coming to Phoenix. More than 4,000 of the world's best dancers from over 50 countries will come together to compete in this week-long event that all comes together for the championship finals on August 12th at GCU Arena. Tickets are on sale now at gcuarena.com. Beautiful day here at Brazel. Have our first pitching change here of the ball game. Jayhawks have a new hurler, Tyler Davis, number 26, the junior right-hander out of Springville, California, and Porterville High comes in to replace Jader Rincon. Tyler Davis, 8.53 ERA, record of 1-1 on the season. This is his 15th appearance, all out of the bullpen. In 12 2/3, he's given up 17 hits, 13 runs, 12 earned. He's walked 6 and struck out 13. Opposition hitting .340 against him. He's been tagged for 4 extra base hits, 2 doubles, 1 triple, and 1 home run. He will face the top of the order. So we knew that it was going to be a staff day for the Jayhawks.
For the Antelopes, number 2, second baseman, Austin Bull.
Tyler Davis, the new pitcher. Austin Bull to lead things off. Bull had the strikeout his first time up. Goes after the first pitch. Backhanded it short. McLaughlin's throw in time to get Austin Bull. We are in the bottom of the third. 1-0 Jayhawks.
Number 40, designated hitter, Tom LaRue.
That'll bring up Tom LaRue. Tommy got a base hit single. He just kind of flared it out over McLaughlin's head in shallow left center field. Tom up there with nobody on. Tom was 2 for 4 with a run. Also reached on a walk. So 3 for 5 in this series with the Jayhawks. Last time these two teams played up in Kansas, they had a 5-5 tie. Game was suspended in the 10th due to lightning. A couple years ago when we were up there, they had winds gusting at 40, 50 miles an hour. It's crazy. Good weather down here, about 85, 86 degrees, and a sunny day here at Brazel, the 2-0. 3-0. So Davis, the new pitcher, gets the ground out from Bull on the first pitch he throws, and now 3 straight balls. In there for a strike. 3-1 the count. Well, LaRouge had the walk-off game winner in the ballgame Saturday in the bottom of the 10th against UTRGV. A 3-1. And he walked him. Lope trying to answer back the one that the Jayhawks got in the third top of this frame. Bring up Garrison Schwartz. Gary struck out swinging on a high fastball from Rincon back in the first inning. Good crowd coming out here. Finals week for a lot of students. Some of the staff and faculty coming out taking a break. We'll watch a little bit of baseball. 1-0. Well, Davis got the ground out and then the walk here. Has had some trouble with command since coming on to replace Jader Rincon. 1-0. 2-0. Garrison Schwartz kept it a 1-run ball game in the top of this frame, throwing out Rudy Carey trying to score from second on a base hit to right field. Threw a perfect shot on the line, a one-hopper to Josh Meyer, who applied the tag, the 2-0, goes after it and fouls it back. Ball's 1 strike to count. 4th assist on the season for Garrison Schwartz. Gary in 286. Throw over and the runner dives back safely. Gary had an assist February 17th against Oklahoma State, March 11th against San Francisco, and April 2nd against Northern Colorado. Add this one to the list. The 2-1. Throw over. LaRouge dives back again. Tom did have a stolen base in the series against UTRGV. He's 3 for 4 in stolen bases this season. Gary led the Lopes hitting .615 in that sweep over UTRGV. The 2-1. Up high. 3 balls and 1 strike. So Davis pitching himself into a bit of a jam here. He walked LaRouche, who's on first, and now he's got a 3-1 count to Gary. Gonna have to come to him, see if Gary can get one he can drive. Ooh, looked like Tom was leaning the other way, but dives back safely. Well, LaRouche reached with a single in the first and didn't go anywhere until after the double by Pavlica. Had trouble figuring out Jader Rincon, the lefty's move. Started, stopped, strike on the outside corner. It's barely caught. And now 3-2 count with 1 out. Imagine LaRouge will be on the move here. Garrison did strike out swinging. His last at bat, though. Greg looking over to the dugout, getting the sign and relaying it out to his pitcher, Davis. The 3-2. There goes LaRouge up high. Almost threw it past Greg. But it's a second walk in a row, and now Lopes have runners at first and second. And the heart of the order, Preston Pavlica coming up. Back-to-back walks by the new pitcher, Tyler Davis. And Lopes might have something going here. Down 1-0 to the Jayhawks here in the third. Pavlica ripped one into right center field, a double. It's first time up in the first. For Pavlica, that was his 5th double of the season. Good speed out there. First pitch in the dirt. Greg getting a workout behind home plate. Ball 1. And now there's no action in the Jayhawk pen. They're starting to get themselves into a bit of a position like the Lopes were yesterday, where they just couldn't find anybody to throw strikes and had to go to their pen very early. It looked like coming in it was probably a staff day. Now they're going to start loosening down there. They're hoping to, I think, get a couple out of Rincon, a couple out of Davis, and maybe get 2 out of 4 or 5 guys and be done with it. The 1-0. Up high. Bins back out of the way. 2-0. Now the Jayhawks got a lefty up there warming up. Number 46, Jeremy Kravitz, warming up now in the pen. Little visit out to the mound by the associate head coach Ryan Graves. Rich Price in his 15th season. His son Richie is an assistant coach and coaches third base. He's in his 6th season. And Ryan Graves, the associate head coach, has been with Coach Price all 15 seasons as the pitching coach. He has nice long visits out there trying to talk to Davis, his second pitcher of the day. And what I like about Graves is even when the umpire comes out there and stands there, he just finishes what he's saying, but doesn't even really seem to be worried too much about the umpire being out there trying to rush him. He's going to get his words in regardless, and now he's heading back to the dugout. So Bull went after the very first pitch and ground out to the shortstop McLaughlin. Then LaRouge walked on a 3-1 count. Schwartz walked on the 3-2 count. It's 2-0 to Pavlica. Wheeler playing behind Schwartz out there at first. So on a ground ball, he's going to get down to second and hurry. Oh, that one ripped. A shot way, way back over the scoreboard, high off the screen, and the Lopes lead it 3-1. Pavlica sitting on a fastball. He got it from Davis and deposited it over the left center field wall. Pavlica got one that he ripped just over the wall on Friday night against UTRGV. That one, no doubt, just wasn't going to be high enough up the screen to clear the screen. He got about halfway up that screen. So Pavlica picks up his second home run of the season and his 13th RBI. And that's going to be it for Davis. Boy, not a good outing for Tyler. He came in and got a ground out, then back-to-back walks and a 3-run shot by Preston Pavlik, and the Lopes have a 3-1 lead. Well, the Lopes, of the 9 runs that were scored by the Jayhawks in the ball game last night, 4 of them were put on as freebies with walks. Lopes kind of turnabout fair play here. The 3-run homer brings in 2 guys that walked ahead of Pavlica, LaRouge and Schwartz. So still just 1 out, and Malice due up. They're going to go with the lefty Kravitz. So it is number 46, Jeremy Kravitz. Kravitz got warmed up in a hurry. The 6'2 lefty, a senior out of Lansing, Illinois, in Mount Carmel High. Didn't have much time to warm up, and Kravitz, this is only the 2nd appearance of the season. He's only got a 1/3 of an inning under his belt, and it was a strikeout. So really, don't know much about Kravitz. Boy, Pavlica gives the Lopes a 3-0 lead. Just unloaded on that 2-0 fastball from Davis. So now, 3rd pitcher of the ball game for the Jayhawks. Well, Pavlica missed so much time after that injury up at St. Mary's, and since he's come back, he's got 2 homers. 2-run shot on Friday night against UTRGV, a 3-run shot here to give the Lopes a lead, their first lead of this 2-game series. Zach Malice at the plate now with 1 out, nobody on it. Lopes up 3-1. Malice struck out looking back in the first. That was against Jader Rincon. First pitch in there for a strike from Kravitz. Zach hitting .270 on the year. 1 homer, 15 RBI. Outside, 1-1. Well, Preston Pavlica gets the Lopes on the board here with a 3-run shot. Lopes have used the long ball recently. Missed outside. During UTRGV's series, a 3-run shot to left center field by Ian Evans. Pavlica had a 2-run shot in that series. Preston had 3 home runs in 2016, his freshman year. Big swing and a miss. 2-ball, 2-strike the count. Preston at .294 last year with 3 home runs and 24 RBI. Picked up his 2nd home run of the year a few moments ago. The 2-2. Ooh, strike 3 called at almost the exact same spot that Malice struck out looking the last time up. And that's one of those ones that, you definitely take that pitch if there's less than 2 strikes, because it could be called a ball on the outside corner. But with 2 strikes, you're going to have to kind of extend a bit and stay alive. Zach didn't do it, and he strikes out for the 2nd out of the inning. I'll bring up Ty Wyatt. Wyatt flew out on the first pitch he saw to dead center field. Rips that one. They're going to get down and will in front of the left fielder Foyle. So a 2-out base knock by Ty Wyatt. And the Lopes have a runner aboard with 2 outs here in the 3rd. I'll bring up Greg Sines. Sines walked and went to second on a wild pitch back in the 2nd inning, his only other at bat. He was stranded there after a ground out and a pop out. So Wyatt gets a base hit. That's good to see. As we mentioned, Ty came into the UTRGV series the hottest hitter in the conference, hitting just under 500. He went 0 for 9 in that one. had trouble last night as well, so he gets his first base hit in quite a while. Lopes are going to need him going into New Mexico State. Chopper, McLaughlin takes the easy way to second, and that is the inning. Before the Lopes, 3 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and a man left on base. The big base knock, the 3-run blast off the bat of Preston Pavlica. With 2 men walked in front of him, he gets a 2-0 pitch and tattoos it over the scoreboard in left center field, up and away, and the Lopes lead it 3-1 here as we go to the 4th. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV.
Hi, I'm JC. I'm a freshman here at GCU. I want to be a pastor, so I've developed this program called Weekly Words. Coming down here to GCU and seeing everything that they were doing really encouraged me to take the gospel to a contemporary outlet. This is a safe place spiritually for people to grow. I count myself a Havoc, so I'm a little crazy. Havocs are the embodiment of everything a GCU student wants to be.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
To the top of the 4th we go here at Brazel. 3-1 GCU leads Kansas. Gabe Benavides back out there now with the lead, and he'll face 5 and 6. Devin Foyle, Jax Groshans, and David Kiriakou, joined now by Barry Butel. And Barry getting ready to, well, not this weekend. The Lopes have to go down and play at New Mexico State. But next time they're back here at Brazel, you guys will have the broadcast against Seattle on that Saturday.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to the matchup on Saturday, May 6th, 7 p.m. first pitch and 6:30 pregame.
Well, you guys were supposed to have the broadcast against Oklahoma State, and that thing got rained out. That was just crazy weather. Those teams from the Midwest love coming out here to play, but for some reason we had the rain that weekend, so it got things pushed back.
It was incredibly awkward as far as planning stages, and I'm sure it caused some disruptions early on in the season for Coach Stankiewicz and the pitching rotation.
Well, you had the U of A ball game. That one didn't go so well for GCU. That U of A team's a good-looking ball club, aren't
solid,
they?
Yeah. Matajevic, J.J. Matajevic, the first baseman, looks solid. Romo on the hill. They've got a pretty powerful lineup. Jay Johnson's done a great job down in Tucson with that club in just his 2nd season.
Devin Foyle at the plate out of Fountain Hills, Arizona, and Fountain Hills High School. And when ripped to short, Wyatt's first chance, fields it, slings it over to first for the out. 1 up and 1 down, and Jax Groshans, the freshman DH, will come up to the plate. He ground out to third, his first time up in the ballgame. Lopes lead at 3-1 here.
But I think those non-conference matchups, they're not shying away. Kansas, again, right there amongst the best in college baseball, and I really think it's helped out in the conference schedule and having this team prepared. I mean, they're playing well. They're 13-2, and that really sets up for a great weekend against New Mexico State. Top 2 teams going toe-to-toe.
Yeah, and talking to Coach Stankiewicz, he said he built it that way, play really tough teams, and then be ready to go in the conference, and it's worked out like he's a genius. 13-2 in the conference, right? A chance to win the thing for the 2nd time in 4 years.
He knows what he's doing.
I always try to guess what he's going to do in games, and I'm always wrong.
You probably know him pretty well.
Yeah, he always outsmarts me. That's why he's down there and I'm up here, right? But you talk about that schedule. I mean, especially the road schedule. I mean, even though Wichita State not maybe as great as it used to be in the past, but a tough place to play. They go play 3 up there. They play St. Mary's on the road, Pepperdine, Long Beach State, and Pepperdine twice. I mean, those are some tough ball clubs.
And I'm sure Andy loves taking on Pepperdine and coming from that area and from that school. So, and for recruiting purposes too.
1-1 pitch misses, 2 balls and 1 strike the count. And, of course, playing at Arkansas, so some good ranked opponents on the schedule here and giving the guys a chance to see, what that competition looks like from those Power 5 schools.
Yep, no doubt about it. Arizona just this close away from a College World Series title last year. We see the same, too, with, Coach Marley taking on the likes of Louisville and Kentucky, traveling to Duke, putting his team in that environment. Just a huge asset.
2-2 pitch from Benavides. Groshans waiting, and the pitch. Ooh, just missed. 3 ball, 2 strike the count. I talked to Coach Stankiewicz prior to this game, and I said, is it more to get your guys acclimated to playing against those big-time schools? Is it more for the recruiting? He said it's really all of the above. A lot of kids want to know when you recruit them, okay, I get the whack. We're planning to play those teams. Who else are we going to play? And they love seeing those big names on the schedule.
I'm sure they do. Yeah. Who wouldn't want to see those teams on the schedule?
Ripped foul. So count stays at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, the problem for GCU is, and Coach Marley's seeing this, when you play a team like Louisville that close, leading at the half and barely losing, and then when you beat teams like San Diego State, nobody wants to come play you anymore.
That's true, yeah. It's amazing how quickly that happened, right?
That's right.
No one wants to come to GCU Arena. Go figure. Those faithful that have come out and watched the Lopes at home, they know all about that environment.
The 3-2. That one ripped down the line. Hooking, and a foul ball.
Close.
So Benavides dodging some trouble here from Jax Groshans. And a little bit different in baseball. You know, you play those midweek series. Everybody's got to have them because you can't just wait until the conference. So you get teams like Kansas playing for 4 years in a row. But really cool to see U of A, really the premier team in the state right now, coming up and playing up at the ballpark.
You know, it's great for the state. Jay Johnson, admittedly said it. It's great for recruiting. The quality of baseball players at the high school level in the state of Arizona is strong.
Pavlica on his horse going back just in front of the warning track makes the grab, and there are 2 down. That'll bring up David Kiriakou. Kiriakou singled his last time up. Yeah, to that point, this Kansas squad has 4 Arizona natives on their squad. You can with some of the other programs, you got to go out of state. You can almost build a program in baseball and softball just with Arizona kids.
That's true. Yeah, there's some good Kansas faithful that have come out to Brazil here this afternoon, and I'm sure many of them are friends and family of the players.
That one in there for a strike. 0-1 the count to Kiriakou. All right, Barry, I got to ask you. We've gotten to go play, at Duke. We've been at Assembly Hall in Indiana. We've been to Rupp Arena.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got to get the deal at Kansas and Allen Fieldhouse.
Oh, that would be
Fly
sweet.
ball to right. We'll talk about that more in just a moment. But great job by Gabe Benavides. Through 4 innings, he's only given up the 1 run. It was a hit batter that came around to score on a base hit single. He's got the lead, 3-1, as we go to the bottom of the 4th here at Brazil. Hey, if you're visiting campus this spring, why not stay at the GCU Hotel, featuring comfortable rooms, resort-style pool, and the Canyon 49 Grill. It's a perfect place to stay when coming to GCU. Rooms start at $79 a night. Book a room today at gcuhotel.com. Hotel guests receive a discount on tee times at the GCU Golf Course. Can't beat that deal. But check it out at gcuhotel.com. All right, so Bear, who do we talk to about getting that scheduled up there at Allen Fieldhouse?
I'm thinking maybe, Mr. Colangelo.
Can you take care of that?
Might make a call,
He might have more clout than you and I
Yeah,
do
I would
to
think
get
so,
that
right?
thing done.
Yeah.
Well, this is great here. It's a great day for baseball. I love these afternoon
aren't
games
they
because
great?
you see a lot of the staff and faculty able to take a break and come over, grab a hot dog, do
That's what I
whatever,
did.
and sit out for a few hours. But this is a time of the year, though, where the students, we had Fletcher on last night. He's excited because he's done, but other students still got a little bit to finish up, so they're a little nervous this
Finals,
time, but
yeah.
they're getting excited, too, because they're going to graduate.
That's exciting, and Fletcher did a great job, and Taylor Bond also graduated. She did a fantastic job as we begin the beginning of the foundation of GCU TV in this digital platform at Grand Canyon University, and it's really the success is attributed to great staff, but also to the student body and those students that work tirelessly day in and day out, really. I mean, we covered over 100 live athletic events for Grand Canyon this year, and couldn't be more proud of the staff and the students that participated, and it's only going to get better and better.
Josh Meyer leading off against Jeremy Kravitz. Goes after the first pitch and skies it out to right field. Vosick backing up, still backing up.
Wow.
Oh, he misplayed that one. Bounces over his head and over the wall for a ground rule double. Boy, that ball just continued to travel. It looked like off the bat Vosick has it measured, and he never did.
You could tell he was fighting it all the way back. He kind of stepped all the way back towards the track.
Wow, so Meyer putting the ball in play on at second base, and Quinn Cotton coming up to bat. And when you guys were preparing for your TV games, it's nice to see there's a lot of freshmen on this squad and sophomores pushing the upperclassmen for playing time. I mean, this is still a very young team. I mean, youngest in the WAC last year, one of the youngest this year, and really stark comparison, differences, I should say, to New Mexico State, who's got a lot of junior and senior JUCO transfers. Andy's still got a very young team here.
I think he's setting himself up very well. There are some promising young players. I mean, even on the left side, when you look at just the stature of Malice on the hot corner, and once he fills out physically, he's going to be a huge presence. Mumper has got great range at short. just needs to add probably a little bit more size. But that left side's pretty solid with those two guys.
Yeah, and you got Bull over there at second.
Yep.
The outfield, Garrison Schwartz, obviously the preseason WAC Player of the Year, a junior. And it's always dicey as that fouled off 0-2 with juniors. You're never sure if they're draft eligible, so you hope they get drafted, but you also hope they come back. So you're kind of torn there with those guys. But
it's
very
great
good young squad.
I see that he's kind of moved his way up in the lineup a little bit. He's raised up his numbers a little bit, so trying to find that consistency, and guys coming back that were banged up a little bit. LaRouge coming back off of that off-season surgery. But that top of the lineup with Bull and LaRouge been pretty consistent. Table setters.
Yeah, and the one thing is we see Gary there that gets lost is his defense. Fourth assist, gunning that runner at home plate. And this one you talk so much about his offense because how can you not? But boy, what a great defensive right fielder he's turned out to be over 3 years here.
Cannot overlook that.
Quinn Cotton, one of those freshmen, getting a lot of playing time here early, really pushing some other guys for playing time. 1-2 count with Meyer out there at second. Lopes lead at 3-1 here. Kravitz pitch. Ooh, inside, almost hit him. That's that kind of move with the leg where your first instinct is to get out of the way, and then at the last minute you go, oh man, I should have taken one off the leg and got on base
like
there.
Elvis.
2 ball, 2 strike. Cotton hitting .294 on the season, no homers, 7 RBI. Does have a couple doubles and a triple. Just outside, 3-2. And so now the Jayhawks feeling kind of the pain that GCU felt yesterday through 5 pitchers. 4 of those guys accounted for 11 walks and 6 hit batters for GCU. Just really lost on the mound in the ball game yesterday for GCU, and getting a much better start here, obviously, from Gabe Benavidez. And Kansas now struggling to find the strike zone. The 3-2. And he walked him. So the leadoff double that was misplayed out there and right by Vasic. And now the walk, and you got runners at first and second and nobody out, and the top of the order coming up. There is some action in the bullpen down there for the Jayhawks. Bull flipping around, hitting from the right side now, struck out and ground out. We'll see if he has Austin bunt here, move a couple guys into scoring position with nobody out and heart of the order coming up. Kiriakou thinking he's going to bunt. He's in on the grass at third base, as is Wheeler at first. Austin squares to bunt, but a high fastball. And don't have to do anything if can't get the ball into you there. Well, you guys should have a good game in that May 6th ball game against Seattle. Seattle scuffling a bit here, but their great pitcher who went through Tommy John, Tarek Skubal, may be back, may not be back. I mean, he missed most of the year and coming back just in time to pitch against GCU, I guess.
Great timing.
Bunts that one foul. And boy, Meyer slipped and fell. What was that down there? I just look at him, he's laying on the ground. Was he trying to duck?
Good thing that ball went foul, to be honest with you. All right. That was like third base coach for the Diamondbacks.
Did he trip over his shoe? He's like tying his shoe. Here we go. Got a shot here.
Here we go. Look at sniper.
Oh, just caught a toe there.
But he loved that replay.
Well, that's one of those ones he is not going to get into that one when he comes back to the dugout. 1-1 to count the Bull. Quinn's getting a massive lead over there with Wheeler playing not only in but way over towards second base.
Second baseman's cheating over there.
Not bunting that time, pops it up. Cosentino coming in now. Vasic comes in and makes the grab. So a missed opportunity there for Austin Bull to move the runners up, and LaRouge will come up with 1 out and runners on first and second.
Now batting number 40, designated hitter Tom LaRouge.
Well, it'll be interesting, Barry, that 10-2 project, and the Kansas fans I was talking to were talking about how new everything is and how great everything is, and this will be the last time the Brazil will look the way it's looked for a number of years here, because man, the minute they're done with the season, and the Lopes after that Seattle, they have San Jose State the 9th and 10th, and they're out on the road to finish things off. My understanding is they're going to get started right away.
I would anticipate that to be the case as the Lopes Performance Center, as they're laying the foundation into the expansion of that project. The softball stadium will finish up the second phase of construction in that area as well. The beach volleyball courts are now in place, so that has been completed. The basketball practice court is also finishing up some finishing touches in the main lobby area and putting some furniture in that area. But everything's coming along for that. 10 facilities in just 2 years, really unprecedented in all of college athletics. It's just unheard of. I mean, to have 10 projects completed in 2 years, I defy any program across the nation to tell me that they've done that.
And big projects too. Just look at the soccer stadium behind us here, right? I mean, you know, it's great. The grounds crew here at Brazel does such a fantastic job. The best field maybe in the West, definitely in the conference.
And I heard that from Coach Lawn with Arizona. He
Yeah,
said,
right?
I don't know who's handling your field here, but it's a big league field.
Yeah, Andy doesn't want to get the name out of who's handling it because everybody wants to grab him and bring him over to work on their field. But, yeah, the softball stadium, that'll be nice to see, too. What they've done so far already makes it look great. But once they get that concourse and that seating built in there, that'll be phenomenal. And Ann Pearson started the program, 14 years ago, continues, as we mentioned, to play some of the top teams in the country and play them well and beat them.
It's remarkable what Ann has done and accomplished here at Grand Canyon University. Just a tremendous asset she is to the university and to the softball program here. And again, you mentioned, you know, the softball program, the baseball program, and recruiting right here in state, and the quality of softball players and baseball players in this state. It's just an untapped resource for both Ann and Andy to fuel their programs.
Chase Kaplan, the new pitcher for the Jayhawks, 6 foot 6 inches tall. They like tall pitchers here at Kansas, and why not 220-pounder, the junior out of Hillsboro, Oregon, on the mound. Now, we knew it was going to be a staff day, and so this is the fourth pitcher of the ball game for the Jayhawks. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. Kaplan has 4.38 ERA, a record of 1-0. His 16th appearance, all out of the bullpen in 12 1/3, 14 hits, 12 runs, 6 earned. He's walked 8 and struck out 4 opposition, hitting .292 against him. He has been tagged for 6 extra base hits, 4 doubles, and 2 home runs. So he will face LaRouge with runners at first and second, and 1 out. Meyer aboard. He had the leadoff double, and then Cotton walked right behind him. Tom's going to bunt and fouls it back. And Tom, he has some sacrifices on the year, but with his speed and the way he places the ball, he's almost always bunting for a base hit. Stankiewicz going through the signs. Little surprise this year when Andy, for the first time in the 6 years, decided to go down and coach third base, but he looks at home out there. He had so many years at ASU coaching third base.
Yeah. He's got to feel more involved in the game.
The 0-1. Chopper up the middle. Tough for 2. Cosentino struggles to get the ball, and Cotton had to stop because they didn't want to get tagged out. Had he kept going, he probably would have been safe. But he made the stop because it looked like Cosentino might have bobbled it. He was going to pick it up and just try to tag him and make the throw. So good base running. You do the right thing, and it doesn't pay off for you.
Exactly.
So LaRouge on with the fielder's choice here. And Cotton is the second out of the inning. Meyer moves up to third, and we talked about him quite a bit. Garrison Schwartz at the plate. You see it right there. Yeah, Cosentino just took the eye off the ball. So Gary now at the plate. Walked and scored in front of that Pavlik, a 3-run homer, and struck out in the first. Preston on deck. Up high. Ball 1. Schwartz hitting .286 on the year, 4 homers, 33 RBI. Not sure what you saw with him and throughout the early part, but he had said that there was a few things he was doing with his technique that the coaches were working on him with early, and it seems like he's got it figured out. They got the runner trap. Now they throw over to try to get him back, and they didn't get him. Well, so LaRouge takes second. Little trickery there by the Lopes. The throw over, they had him picked, but LaRouge knew it and just tried to get in a rundown, and Josh able to dive back in there before the throw.
Great to have 2 runners in scoring position.
Yeah, Gary got a chance, leads the team with 33 RBI. But Gary said they worked on that. They found some hitches in the swing. He worked on it, and he really looks like he's getting more locked in as we head through conference play here. 1-0. Missed outside, 2-0 now. Kind of cool to see. You'd mentioned about the practice facility for the Lopes, just right next to the arena. Those pictures tweeted out of Roy Williams and the national champions working out over there.
Yeah. Right at home, right?
Yeah. The 2-0. Down the line in left, slicing away. Coming over, though, making the grab, fighting the wind over there. The left fielder Foyle makes the grab. So Lopes unable to get a run across. They have to lead off double. They did get one hit and no errors and left a couple on base. We have completed 3-1, GCU over Kansas. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV.
I'm Dominique. I'm a student here at Grand Canyon University studying hospitality management. My hospitality courses here are giving me a high quality education from professors that I know have been successful. Being able to work while I'm in school has enriched my college experience. I feel like I know where I'm going and what I want to do. When they say find your purpose, they mean it.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
(3-1) GCU with the lead as we go to the 5th inning here. Thanks to Barry Butel for hopping in and chatting a little bit. They'll have that TV broadcast, the CW6 broadcast against Seattle, 7 p.m. on May 6th. I'll have that first game May 5th and then the last game May 7th. And right here on GCU TV, those will be the next home games. So the Lopes head after this to Las Cruces and play New Mexico State. Then they come back to play Seattle the 5th through the 7th, then San Jose State the 9th and the 10th, and then on the road to finish it out at Utah Valley. And then because of the different scheduling here, they finish off at UC Davis, whereas New Mexico State will be playing some conference games. That's why the Lopes would love nothing more than to sweep down there and control their own destiny. Because of that, if they come into that final series with a 1.5 game lead and New Mexico State sweeps, they could tie for the conference title. So thanks to Barry Butel, you can join him on that broadcast. They try to do a couple of ball games a year. They were going to do the Oklahoma State game and then the Arizona game, and then weather did not cooperate. So I was joking with Barry off the air. He said, so we're going to get rain on May 6th? Every time you guys want to broadcast the game, we get some weather. He said, probably, knowing our luck. Bottom third of the order, Wheeler, Vosick, and Cragg due up for KU. The Lopes got a 3-run blast from Pavlica in the third, and that's the difference. 3-1 GCU. Gabe Benavides giving the Lopes exactly what they wanted from Hanson yesterday and weren't able to get. Gabe got that 3-1 lead and starts off Wheeler, the Phoenix native and Thunderbird High School grad, with the ball 1. We are in the 5th. Almost hit him on the toes there. Wheeler in 206, 1 homer, 8 RBI. Lopes 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 6 left on. KU 1 run, 4 hits, no errors, and 2 left on. In there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. In there for a strike, 2 ball and 2 strike the count now. Wheeler kind of grimacing. It looked like a pretty good pitch. He just maybe more grimacing that he didn't take a hack at that one. Wheeler, one of the 4 players for the Jayhawks with Phoenix ties. Wheeler calling a timeout. You got Rakowski, who started the ball game yesterday and got the win. He's out of Chandler, Arizona and Hamilton High, same high school as Jake Wong. Devin Foyle, the left fielder out of Fountain Hills. Marcus Wheeler up to bat. Phoenix, Arizona, and Thunderbird, and Rudy Carey out of Peoria. That one misses. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. So Benavides works the count full. We do have the first action in the antelope pen that we have seen. Which is good to say that in the 5th inning. Josh Siglett's warming up down there. That one hit to left. Cotton starts back, comes in a few steps and makes the grab. Boy, a big swing from Wheeler, but it looked like he either got jammed or off the end of the bat. Couldn't quite tell, but he flies out to left. That'll bring up Vosick. So there's Josh Siglitz. We were speculating last night as to who would get the start, and we figured it would either be Benavides or Siglitz. It was Gabe, and now Siglitz is set to come in after him. So I'd imagine this will be the last inning, hoping Benavides can get him through, and he starts off Vosick with a strike on the outside corner. Benavides pitching a gem so far. He's working very quickly. Missed a little high, 1-1, and boy, the defense appreciates that. They can get set, and the fans appreciate that as well. And Kansas obliging, not really stepping out of the box. They want to move a quick game along too. They got a plane to catch later on this evening. The 1-1. Well, he tried to throw a breaking pitch and missed him outside. Vosick struck out looking his only at bat back in the third inning. Vosick had 5 plate appearances. Tried to check a swing, did not. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 from Benavides. Up high. The count goes full for the second batter in a row here in the 5th inning. Lopes leading it 3-1. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So 2 strikeouts through 4 2/3 for Gabe Benavides. Both times he struck out Brett Vosick. Vosick struck out looking his first time up, and right here couldn't catch up with the fastball on the outside. That'll bring up Tanner Gregg. Only guy to cross the plate for the Jayhawks. He was hit by a pitch and came around to score on the base hit single by Cosentino. Carey was right on his heels, and Garrison Schwartz threw him out. And the big play of the ball game there. That one misses outside, ball 1. So Siglett's ready down in the bullpen in case Benavides has any trouble here getting this last out. Breaking pitch in there, beautifully done for a strike, and looks like that's the plan for Rich Dorman, the pitching coach, and Andy Stankiewicz. Is this for Benavides to throw 5 here? He's over 70 pitches now. 1-1. Missed outside. It'll be interesting to see. Siglett's, I'm sure, is going to be ready for the 6th inning. But if Benavides gets through under 80 pitches, would they bring about that there again? Probably not. Imagine this is the most he's thrown. 2-2. Gregg getting 240. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 3 strikeouts in the ball game, which we expect Benavides to be done, and he's getting some congratulations as he heads back to the dugout. He struck out 2 in that inning. 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base for the Jayhawks. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 3-1 GCU with the lead. Well, get the best gear to show off your Lope pride. Go to lopeshops.gcu.edu to find everything GCU, from the newest apparel to the coolest accessories. Use promo code GCUTV20 to get 20% off for being a GCU TV viewer. Let's paint the Valley purple. Lopes up. Free shipping this week in honor of commencement. Well, Andy Stankiewicz in his 6th season here with GCU. He's got the Lopes in line with a chance at 13-2 in the conference to get their 2nd conference title in 4 years in the Western Athletic Conference. And if you look at what Coach Stankiewicz has done, he got the first conference title in 2015. In 2013, Coach Stankiewicz in Division II baseball won the Western Division and took the team all the way to the Division II College World Series in Cary, North Carolina. So it seems to be the opposite of what the San Francisco Giants do. It seems to be the odd-numbered years for Coach Stankiewicz. A D2 College World Series appearance in 2013. First WAC crown since coming back to Division I in 2015. And now in 2017, a chance to once again win the conference. But first things first, they're up 3-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. So Kaplan back on the mound for the Jayhawks. And we do have a substitution at first base. Number 4, Owen Taylor takes over defensively for Marcus Wheeler. We saw that substitution in the ball game yesterday as well. So Owen Taylor over there taking the place of Marcus Wheeler. Well, the guy at the plate, pretty decent day today. Doubled his first time up and a 3-run homer his last time up. And then for strike 1. Well, Pavlik at 279 on the year, 2 homers and 7 RBI, has scored 11 runs, up high 1-1. Pavlica took a 1-0 pitch in the first and doubled into right center field, had the 3-run homer over the left center field wall right above the scoreboard, well above the scoreboard. The 1-1 in there for a strike with the fastball. 1 ball, 2 strike to count. So it'll be Pavlica, Malice, and Wyatt. The 1-2. Up high, 2-2 to Pavlica. Pavlica injured up at St. Mary's March 3rd, tracking down a ball, running into the wall, and injuring the wrist. The 2-2. Strike 3 on the inside corner. Boy, painted the inside corner. So 1 up, 1 down. First strike of the ball game for Chase Kaplan. We're bringing up Zach Malice. Malice has struck out twice, both times looking on almost the identical pitches from 2 different pitchers. That one missed a little too far outside. Ball 1. In there for a strike, 1-1. Well, Singlets was warming up down there in the pen, but Deegan Hart now warming up, and I guess that answers our question. We thought it did earlier when Deegan was out in the bullpen in there for a strike, 1 and 2, about who's going to be the Sunday starter. Imagine it'll be Jack Schneider. So Deegan Hart now looks like he's going to come in the 6th inning here. Missed outside, 2-2. So Gabe Benavides, it seems as if his day is going to be done. He'll leave with the lead. It's a 3-1 lead right now, might be more. But 75 pitches for Gabe Benavides. Just kind of a wave, swing, and a miss. At least that time Malice didn't strike out looking. But back-to-back strikeouts for Kaplan. 3rd time Malice has struck out in this ballgame. That'll bring up Tyler Wyatt. Wyatt flew out to center in the 2nd and singled in the 3rd. Gabe Benavides' previous high, he threw 58 pitches in a start at UNLV. He only went 2 2/3 in that start. That one ripped over the shortstop's head once again. So Ty Wyatt starting to heat up after scuffling 0 for 9 against UTRGV.
Now batting number 8, first baseman Greg Stein.
Boy, Wyatt not wasting any time. He has swung at the first pitch in every at-bat. A fly out to center in the 2nd, a base hit single in the 3rd, and a base hit in the 5th. That'll bring up Greg Sines. Sines walked, went to 2nd on a wild pitch his first at-bat, and advanced no further. 2 outs here. First pitch to Sines, misses inside. Sines grounded to an inning-ending fielder's choice. It's last time up. Throw over, gets away from Taylor. And now, base runner moves up to 2nd. So now Wyatt in scoring position with 2 outs. Sines hitting .289, 2 homers on the year with 7 RBI. The throw over, the snap throw. This looks like the ball floated away from Taylor, and because the runner, Wyatt, was diving back in, he was unable to reach out and grab it. Well, sometimes those lefties, they do that step off with the back foot and just kind of don't even stride over that direction, just kind of flip the ball. 2-0. So it can get away from you. It did in that case for Kaplan. So error by the pitcher, the first error in the ball game for either team. Wyatt at second to 2-0, inside 3-0. Well, Signs walked on 4 pitches, his first at-bat in the second. Kaplan in danger of walking him on 4 pitches here. Kaplan was cruising through this inning. Back-to-back strikeouts of Pavlik and Malice, and then Wyatt blasted a single over the shortstop's head. The air on the throw over to first, and now Wyatt on second. 3-0 count to Signs. The pitch. He walked him on 4 pitches again. So second 4-pitch walk of the ball game for Greg Signs, and now Josh Meyer coming up, needing a 2-out base knock. Might have another pitching change. Graves is going to come out and chat. Number 44 is warming in the pen. I didn't notice how long he's been down there, if he's going to be ready to go or if this is just a visit out there right now. Blake Wyman warming up. Looks like it's just a visit to the mound by the associate head coach and pitching coach Ryan Graves. Andy Stankiewicz down there as you see him. Looking for a 2-out base knock from his catcher. Meyer had a double his last time up. It was a fly ball that off the bat it looked like Vasek had it measured, but he just kept back and back and back, and it went over his head and then bounced over the wall for a ground rule double. For Meyer, it was his 3rd double of the year. Meyer hitting .292. No homers yet for Josh. 11 RBI, though. Now Taylor's going to play behind Signs, so Greg will get a good lead. Greg's got decent speed over there at first, so a gapper should score him with 2 outs. Back-to-back strikeouts to Pavlik and Malice. Base hit single by Wyatt, and 4-pitch walk to Signs. Ripped to left. But there's plenty of room out there. And Foyle makes the grab. So that visit to the mound by the pitching coach did the trick. Couple of strikeouts, a base hit single, a walk, and then a fly out to left. No runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 2 left on base. We have completed 5 here at Brazel. 3-1 GCU with the lead. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit GC.
Welcome back to Brazel Stadium. Deegan Hart, the new pitcher. Lopes lead at 3-1. Hart started off in the starting rotation for GCU, but since has given way, and now the Lopes have really gotten locked in. Jake Wong, a 2.51 ERA, a record of 5-2, the Friday night guy, and he will start on Friday in Las Cruces. Jake Repovich, a 3.9 ERA, a record of 4-3. Opposition just hitting .254 off Jake Repovich. And then the freshman, Jack Schneider, a 5.4 ERA, but a record of 3-0 pitching on Sundays. A 248 opponents are hitting off of him. And that's really your 3 starters, Jake, and Jack. Deegan Hart has moved to the bullpen. He's in here now in relief of Gabe Benavides, and Benavides pitched a fantastic ball game. Last time we saw Deegan, though, he was just cruising through the UTRGV lineup over the weekend, and that was good to see. He was kind of even carrying himself on the mound like a Friday night ace kind of guy. So he is in there now. Deegan Hart, the 6'3", 215-pound junior out of Glendale, Arizona, O'Connor High, and he went to Yavapai College before coming down here and pitching for GCU. Struggled early in the season, so that's why his numbers are a bit gaudy. 8.73 ERA, a record of 0-5, but got 5 starts. This is his 8th appearance out of the bullpen. In 33 innings combined, 41 hits, 37 runs, 32 earned. He's walked 17 and struck out 28. Opponents hitting .308 against him, but he has been pitching better of late, and so he will come on in relief and face the top of the order. Carey, Cosentino, and McLaughlin. Rudy Carey doubled his last time up. High fastball, ball one. Rudy Carey hitting .270 on the year. 1 homer, 17 RBI. Carey 1 for 2. Had that double in the third, flew out to left in the first. Carey's got the long blonde hair sticking out from the blue bat and helmet there. 1-1 the count. Rudy out of Peoria, Arizona, and Liberty High School. Ty Wyatt's high school. Also Paulie Panichone's school. The 1-1. Missed outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. We weren't quite sure after Schneider had that bad outing against UTRGV, and Deegan, threw it behind him, almost hit him. That ball just slipped out of the hand. 3-1 the count. Well, Rudy Carey just automatically goes moves out of the way, but he was hit twice in the ball game yesterday, both times with the bases loaded. Oh, it hit the bat. 2-2 the count. I missed that one. So 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. That's a way to get a strike. Down low and inside. Now 3-2. So Carey came up with the bases loaded in the second and the third and was hit both times. Got his first 2 RBI of the night. He would end with 4 after a 2 RBI single in the 7th. But he got hit. It brought a run in, and then he was the front end of a 6-4-3 double play in the second and a 4-6-3 double play in the third. The 3-2. Ground ball to second. Bull waits on it, gobbles it up, fires the signs, 1 up, 1 down. So Hart gets his first man. Closing the books on Gabe Benavides as James Cosentino steps up to the plate. Benavides goes 5 innings, gives up 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He walked no one and struck out 3. Benavides threw 75 pitches, 48 for strikes, and had 12 first pitch strikes facing 18 batters. What an outing for a sophomore lefty. First pitch to Cosentino. Up high, ball 1. Cosentino is 2 for 2. Doubled in the first and singled in a run in the third. So Benavides doing a nice job. His previous high outing, that 75 pitches, eclipses the 58 he threw at UNLV, as that one misses 2-0. But in those 2 2/3 in his previous high pitch count outing, he gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, walked 1, and struck out 2. So great outing for Benavides in his 4th start of the year. 3rd start of the year, excuse me. And there for a strike. 2 ball, 1 strike to count. Lopes would. I was going to say Lopes would love it if Hart could pitch the rest of the way, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, but they might, just to get him some work, go to A.J. Franks in the 8th and Mick Voroff in the 9th. That might be what they're thinking, up high, 3-1. And now Deegan's struggling a bit here. We saw him come in and pitch lights out as he came in and just mowed down the Vaqueros on that ball game on Sunday. The 3-1. Fouled off. Count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Deegan came in that ball game and threw 3 innings. Gave up 3 hits. Struck out 3. Ended up giving away to A.J. Franks, who got the win in that ball game on Sunday. The 3-2. Little line drive up the middle. So Cosentino, perfect on the day. A double and a couple of singles. So he's on base for the 3rd time.
Now batting number 5, shortstop.
That'll bring up the shortstop, Matt McLaughlin. McLaughlin now at the plate. Hitting .289, 2 homers, 21 RBI for the shortstop. Couple of ground outs to third. If he grounds one to third here, it might be a 5-4-3 double play. He leads the team with the 2 home runs. As a team, just 9 home runs on the year. That one in the dirt, blocked, but it gets away from Meyer. No throw. So Cosentino takes second on the wild pitch. Now with the 3-1 lead for the Lopes. Another run in scoring position. Well, McLaughlin with the 2 homers. Carey's got one. Cosentino's got one. Voxic's got one. Kiriaku's got one. Taylor's got one. Gragg's got one. And Wheeler's got one. That one missed somewhere. 1-1. John Schiller behind home plate. Mattingly at first and Jason Rogers at third. Lopes head to Las Cruces for a 3-game set. It starts on Friday. Chopper, foul, gloved by Malice in foul territory. Zach covering a lot of ground over there. Two-one pitch here. Cosentino takes his lead. Pitch to McLaughlin up high. 3-1, and now Hart having trouble finding the strike zone. And A.J. Franks is up in the bullpen. Well, Benavides, a great outing. 5 innings, gave up just the 1 run. Now Hart having trouble here. The 3-1. Inside, he almost hit him, ball 4. Now the tying run is on base. So Hart, see if we're going to get a visit to the mound here. We're definitely going to get one from Myers. Devin Foyle comes up to the plate. Foyle a ground out and a fly out. Frank should be ready pretty quickly. Meyer taking some time, and now the home plate umpire, Schiller, clapping his hands, telling Josh to get back there. Foyle 0 for 2, 248 on the year, no homers, 21 RBI. Foyle out of Fountain Hills, Arizona, Fountain Hills High School. Righty-lefty matchup here. Hart checks the runners. Cosentino and McLaughlin, who took a big rip trying to give the Jayhawks the lead there. And that nasty pitch inside with the slider, strike 1. Ground out to third in the first inning. Ground out to short in the 4th. Lopes would take either of those and try to turn an inning-ending double play. They had 2 inning-ending double plays in the 2nd and 3rd inning of the ballgame last night outside. Ball 1. 1-1 the count. Deegan has come in, and this has been the trouble he's had at the beginning of the year, just having trouble finding the strike zone. Hart taking his time, the 1-1. Fouled off. That's going to get out of play, so Deegan ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hopes had some high hopes for Deegan Hart when he came over from Yavapai. But he struggled here since coming over, similar to what Cam Brindle did when he came over from the JUCO. They expect a lot out of him, and he struggled through that junior year, but he pitched very well last year in his senior campaign. Him the ace of the staff for GCU. The 1-2. Up high, 2-2. Hart still with that size and that fastball, getting some looks as a junior from the pro scouts. Hart 6'3", 215. Got a good live arm. Control's been the trouble though. Outfield straightaway, normal depth. The 2-2 with the 1 out and 2 on. 3-2. I would imagine if he can't get this man, A.J. Franks is ready to go, and he'll be coming into the ball game. Well, kind of a bummer to see because Deegan pitched so well on Sunday. He's consistency's been the issue from batter to batter, but also from pitch to pitch and from outing to outing. The 3-2. Runners going, fouled off. So Richie Price starting both runners with a full count and 1 out, trying to run out of that possible double play. Good speed at second, Cosentino, and then McLaughlin, a good runner, but he's just got such a great lead over there because Signs at first base playing well behind him. Now Josh Meyer having a chat on the mound with Hart. Jax Groshen's on deck. Payoff pitch, see if they're running again. Wyatt trying to keep him close. Oh, and Wyatt at the bag, and ball 4. Boy, that was a miscommunication. Wyatt broke to second, and Hart threw the pitch, but didn't matter because he walked to second in a row and loads the bases, and as we expected, that is going to be it. While disappointing there in the outing from Hart here in this one, obviously, and he would be the first to tell you he'd be disappointed in it as well. But Coach Danko had said, well, A.J. Franks and Mick Voroff are both available. He was just hoping he wouldn't have to go to him till the 7th or the 8th inning here. So we'll see what Coach Stankiewicz wants to do if there's somebody to bridge the gap between A.J. Franks and Mick Voroff. And he is going to make the call. So that'll be it for Deegan Hart. Well, Hart came in, started the inning, got a ground out from Carey. Then the base hit single, the wild pitch, back-to-back walks. And those were the first 2 walks of the ballgame. There was a hit batter by Benavidez, but the first 2 walks of the ballgame coming off a game where the Lopes walked 11 and hit 6. So Groshans, the DH, will face the new pitcher. And that is it for Deegan Hart, and he's obviously fairly dejected as he walks off the playing field. A.J. Franks, 6'2", senior out of Anaheim, California, and Kennedy High, Santa Ana College. Franks will start his warm-up tosses here. A.J. a 2.38 ERA, a record of 4-0. This is his 24th appearance, leads all Lopes in that category by quite a long shot. Mick Voroff has 18 appearances. 1 save for A.J. Franks. He did combine for a shutout as well. In 41 2/3, A.J. has given up 36 hits, 12 runs, 11 earned. He's walked 5 and struck out 22. Opposition hitting .240 against A.J. Franks. A.J. the sidearm submarine delivery there, and that's why Coach Stankiewicz said, hadn't pitched in a while, and he said A.J. in the pregame show that we did, he said A.J. likes the work, and he's got that kind of rubber arm. He can throw back-to-back, throw quite a bit. And he'll be in there now. He also said Voroff, Mick likes the work, so said don't be surprised if we don't see Voroff too. In that UTRGV series, A.J. Franks came in and pitched in a couple of ball games through 4 1/3 innings in that series. He gave up 2 hits, 2 walks cumulatively, and got the win on Sunday. The walk off the ground ball up the middle by Garrison Schwartz. Voroff came in a couple ball games too and struck out 3. So A.J., let's take a look real quickly here. Having a visit with Meyer out there. So it'll be 5, 6, and 7 Groshans. Kiriakou due up, and if anybody gets on, Owen Taylor come up. So Jack Groshans ground out to third and flew out to center. 0 for 2. Hitting .216, no homers, 24 RBI. He was a starting catcher last night. The DH in this one as a starting catcher, 1 for 3 with a couple of runs, scored an RBI and 3 walks. And that was last night. 0 for 2 today. Sacks full, bases loaded, 1 out, and he hits him. Oh, that was right on the knee. Boy, Groshans in pain, went right down. On the left knee, second hit batter of the ball game and the 8th hit batter of the series, and it's a 3-2 ball game. Costantino scores, makes it 3-2. Base is still loaded. David Kiriakou. Kiriakou singled in the second, flew out to right. Boy, this is a massive number of hit batters. That's the exact same pitch, but unfortunately a left-handed batter. So it didn't hit him. But a ball, 1-0. Well, that's the third RBI that KU has gotten. That one fouled off. Malice coming over, but it's going to get out of play. 1-1. Third RBI of the series they've gotten with the bases loaded and a hit batter. Carey was hit twice with the bases loaded for RBI. And now Groshans gets hit to drive in a run. 3-2. Pitch to Kiriakou, misses outside. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Boy, just nibbling on that outside corner. Kiriakou couldn't catch up to it on the outer half. 227 on the year for David Kiriakou. 1 homer, 14 RBI. The 2-2. Fouled off. Just late on that one. So AJ just working that outside corner. Taylor's on deck. He came in as a defensive replacement for Marcus Wheeler. Did the exact same thing in the ballgame last night. Oh, and he hit him. No, he leaned in though. Nope, they're going to give it to him. Initially, I thought the home plate umpire might go out there and say that he leaned out over the plate. And wow. Another hit, back-to-back hit batters. 4th time the Lopes have driven in a run with a hit batter in this series. Boy, this is crazy. Now Taylor at the plate with the bases loaded in a 3-3 ball game. So A.J. Franks, your most consistent reliever on the season, has come in and hit 2 batters in a row and coughed up the lead. So Benavidez, what a great outing, and not going to factor into the decision. What a shame. In their first strike. Taylor at the plate now. Coming in defensively for Wheeler. Wheeler ground into a double play in the second and flew out to left in the 5th. Bosick on deck. Oh, boy. I have no idea where that one was. Schiller not giving it to him. Might have broken late. 1-1 count. Andy Stankiewicz sitting over there. Brought his best reliever in, thinking he could get out of the inning, and that went in there for a strike. 1-2. Owen Taylor, 284, 1 homer, 11 RBI. Asking for timeout. Timeout was called, and AJ went ahead and delivered the pitch. And now Meyer asking the umpire something and didn't get a response. So he reached out and tapped him with the mitt as if to say, hey, that was a little late there on that timeout call. Owen Taylor was hit by a pitch and walked in the ball game yesterday. In the air to left, down the line, slicing foul, and hits the top of the bullpen area down there. Taylor walked and scored in the 7th. It was hit by a pitch in the 8th. So he grabs the bat back, and dicey situation here for the Lopes in the 6th. Great chance for the Jayhawks. The 1-2. Just reached out and tapped it to stay alive. That was well off the zone, but Taylor just wanted to stay alive. Well, the Jayhawks led for a bit in the top of the 3rd inning. Gragg was hit by a pitch, a double by Carey, put him down at 3rd, and then Costantino drove him in with the single carry was right on his heels trying to score and was thrown out on just a great throw from Garrison Schwartz in right field. Lopes answered with the 3-run homer in the bottom of that inning, the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Boy, challenged him, and that was the most elevated fastball that he saw. 2 outs now. Lopes 1 away from getting out of this thing. Benavides went 5. Hart came in, went a third of an inning. Now the bases loaded after a couple of hit batters, driven in a couple of runs. A.J. Franks gets a strikeout. Brett Vosick now at the plate. Vosick struck out twice, fouled back. Vosick both times against Benavides. He struck out looking in the third and swinging in the fifth. Vosick, 236 on the year. 1 homer, 13 RBI. The 0-1. Outside, 1-1. Two runs already across and just 1 hit in the inning. 2 walks, 2 hit batters. The 1-1. Fouled off. That one shot down there and almost took the head off of our cameraman down there. Everybody okay? Down there in the third base dugout? Woo. That was a sizzler. We got the still photographer down there. Everybody good down there? Is that Connor down there? Yeah, he's waving. They're okay. All smiles now, not about 10 seconds ago. Looking at the still photographer camera, might have got a shot of that ball sizzling at the lens. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Tried to frame it, did Meyer. It was a bit high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Bases loaded, 3-3 ball game. Lopes left Quinn Cotton, and then the top of the order in the 6th. Might be facing a new pitcher. In the air to left, that could be trouble. Coming over the dive, fielded on the bounce by Cotton. The throw to the plate. We're going to have a play. Oh, the throw, he took too much off of it. 2 come in to score. A catch in left field. Oh, wow. Initially they said that it was, he trapped it. Now they're saying a catch, and now they're going to come out and talk about it. Well, they're yelling at the Jason Rogers, the third base umpire, was hollering back at Rich Price. Boy, I thought he trapped that one. The way he came up, he flipped it into home plate. Didn't get a lot on it. 2 runs came across on that single, but then they called an out. And I didn't see. Let's take a look at it here. Boy, he didn't come up with it and act like he caught it. It's tough to see. We're at a long way out there, but the way Quinn came up, he sure didn't come up acting like he caught the ball. Oh, no, now they're going to put a guy's back on and say he didn't catch it. Why do you make that call if you didn't see it? Now they're going to talk to Stankiewicz. So Rogers, is that Steve Mattingly coming over there? Now somebody hollering over in the dugout. Now Stankiewicz. Yeah, the Lopes are coming back out on the field. So I think it's going to go as a base hit single, and 2 runs are going to come across. Wyatt already heading back out there. Malice now hanging out. Well, I think that's the right call, but boy, what an odd way to do it. I mean, my goodness. So they're going to put both runs, I believe, score. They're going to put, let's see what they do here now. Kiriakou wants to go down to third. Can't remember if he was heading down. Now they're going to put, so Groshans has to head back down, so it's just an RBI single. by Vasic. 1 run scores. So yeah, so just the 1 RBI, they put Groshans back down at third. Oh boy, what a weird play. So 4-3 your score here, and the base is still loaded with Grag at the plate. Fouled off. So, boy, that one took a long time to uncover, but basically it looked like Cotton trapped that ball on the back end. That's what I saw off the bat. 2 runs came in to score, but he just flipped the ball in. The umpires, though, said it was a catch. Then they talk about it and decide it wasn't a catch. Huh. Just outside. Well, both coaches were okay with it, but I've never really seen that. If he didn't catch it, 2 runs should have come across. If he caught it, it should have been the inning. So dead ball immediately when he called him out. I didn't really see the signal that quickly, and I tell you, Cotton didn't act like he caught the ball out there. The 1-1. Ground ball up the middle, going to get through. Boy, Groshans is able just to kind of hobble home. That left knee is really bothering him. So station to station, and it is now 5-3. Well, the pitching has really let down the Lopes. 2 guys have pitched well. Jeremy Smith retired 9 in a row. Gabe Benavides pitched very well. And now, Rudy Carey, and the top of the order. And the 10th batter of the inning. He started this whole thing against Deegan Hart with the ground out to second. Pitch misses, ball 1. Well, Groshans hobbled in to score. Make it 5. Base is still loaded. Ground ball up the middle. Bulls got it. No play. They throw behind at third. Everybody's safe on an infield single by Rudy Carey. Casatino, a couple of singles and a double with the bases loaded, and now a 6-3 ball game, a 5 spot on the board here in the 6th against the Lopes' best reliever. It was a 5 spot in the 7th that blew the game open. This time coming all the way back from a 3-1 ball game. The 1-0 to Casatino, ground ball left side. Dive by Wyatt, no play though, and everybody scores on another infield single. Well, Wyatt able to keep it on the infield. Oh, boy. 7-3. So Vasic comes in to score. Grag now down at third. Carey at second, Casantino, and nobody warming in the pen. This is AJ's game here. Matt McLaughlin at the plate now with the bases loaded once again. The 1-0. 2-0. Well, disappointing ball game. The wheels have fallen off here, and you felt pretty good going into the 6th. You had that 3-1 lead, all the momentum. Really no momentum for the Jayhawks, but Deegan Hart just really couldn't get it going, and then AJ has not had his best stuff or really any good stuff here since coming in. 2 ball, 1 strike to count. And hopefully Lopes will be able to shake that off. Game not over yet. They've come back for more, but Hopefully they'll be able to shake that off when they head down. And the thing you didn't want to have AJ throw this many pitches going into that series. And now you got some action in the pin down there, getting loose quickly. A right-hander, swing and a miss by McLaughlin. Boy, just tight pitch inside. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Couple of outs. Sieglett's back, warming up again in the bullpen. He was set to come in the 5th if Benavides needed him. Gabe didn't, but he didn't come in the 6th. Chopper foul. They went with Deegan Hart instead, who last outing was fantastic. Not so this time. And then AJ, they thought, would come in with the bases loaded, and he hit the first 2 batters, a strikeout, a single, a single, a single, and a single. So 2 hit batters for RBI, and then back-to-back singles to bring in runs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A pitch to McLaughlin. Chop foul. Stankiewicz reached out with that left hand in the dugout and knocked the ball away. Lopes entered this inning with a 3-1 lead, and Deegan Hart on the mound. A 7-3 ball game now. The 2-2. Make it 3-2 with the bases loaded. McLaughlin hitting .289 on the year. Leads the team with 2 home runs. The 3-2. Ground foul again. They're just trying to pitch that low and inside, and he's staying alive. Greg down there at third base, taking a really wide turn. He's leaving a little bit early, but boy, he's way in foul territory. Talking to Richie Price now about how he wants to take that lead. Carey at second, Cosentino at first. The 3-2. Ground ball to second. Bulls got it. Play to first. And mercifully, the inning comes to an end. 6 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 3 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Lopes now trail it 7-3. Spend summer 2017 working towards your future career by investing in yourself with the Career Impact Center's job and internships opportunities. Find your career-making opportunity today at gcu.edu/career services. That's gcu.edu/career services. 12 come to the plate in the 6th, and 6 come in to score on 5 hits and a couple of hit batters with the bases loaded. And we got a whole new ball game going to the bottom of the 6th inning here. 7-3, Kansas with the lead. And the thing that hurts most about that is Gabe Benavides pitched a whale of a ball game, going 5 innings and left with a 3-1 lead, and the bullpen could not contain the Jayhawks. Blake Wyman, your new pitcher, number 44, the 6'4" junior lefty out of Colorado. So he will come in that 7-1 lead, but Kaplan, the pitcher of record after getting that lead. Blake Wyman, a 3.23 ERA, a record of 1-1. This is his 23rd appearance, all out of the bullpen. He leads the Jayhawks in that category. In 30 2/3, 36 hits, 13 runs, 11 earned, 3 walks, 33 strikeouts. Opposition hitting .298. So it'll be Quinn Cotton and then the top of the order. Well, Cotton had a chance to make a play out there and left on a ball diving away from him. He backhanded the ball and looked like, from my vantage point, that it was trapped. He jumped up and slung the ball back in quickly, but the umpire said no, he caught it. Then they conferenced and decided he didn't catch it. Fouled back. I'm not sure what that conversation is. I mean, Andy didn't argue too much. Price argued like crazy and almost and one of the umps yelled at him a bit. I'm not sure what that conversation is, though, because if you didn't see it, why'd you call it in the first place? And then if you called it, why'd you change your mind? I think the right call ended up being made, other than the fact that Groshans should have scored, but they put him back at third. Didn't matter in the end. 1-1 count to Cotton. So I think the right call was made. It's a big swing and a miss, 1-2. It looked to me right away that he had trapped the ball. And usually when you catch it, you kind of come up, hold the glove up, that type of thing. He jumped up and threw it back in right away. So I think Quinn knew he trapped it. 1-2 count. Wyman's pitch. Strike 3 called on a nice tight breaking pitch, a slider at the ankles. Boy, Wyman makes short work out of Quinn Cotton. I'll bring up top of the order, Austin Bull. Bull looking for his first base hit of the night. Looking for his first base hit since he led off the bottom of the first with a base knock last night. That was an inauspicious start for the Lopes. Got the base hit to lead off and then was picked off first when he wandered too far off after LaRue struck out on a ball in the dirt. LaRue struck out on that ball in the dirt, and it's almost like LaRue started running down to first, and it was almost like Bull thought he had to go. Took a step off and then was picked off by the catcher. 0-1 the count to Austin. In 3:42. Oh, 1-2 to Bull. Bulls struggled here against Kansas. And you look at some of the numbers here. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Bull couldn't pull the trigger. So back-to-back strikeouts. And, boy, you can see why Wyman has gotten so many chances here. His 23rd appearance and a 3.23 ERA. He comes in, Wyman, with 33 strikeouts in those 30 innings, and he's got 2 here. LaRouge at the plate. So LaRouge leading the team with a 343 batting average now that Bull has been struggling. In there for a strike. Tommy, a base hit single to shallow left. It walked and then reached on a fielder's choice. In there for a strike, 0-2. And that off-speed pitch, that breaking pitch is really fooling the Lopes. Looking to strike out the side here, 0-2. The pitch, swing and a miss. He got him, just chased it, put it well off the plate. Got the first 2 looking, got LaRouge swinging. Not the at-bat you wanted after you give up a 6 spot in the top of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. Nobody even made contact on that one. 7-3, Kansas with the lead as we go to the 7th. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV.
Hello, Phoenix. This is Jerry Colangelo from Grand Canyon University. You can join the GCU community by enrolling as an evening student at our beautiful campus in the heart of Phoenix. Earn your bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree to take your career to the next level. Engage with industry expert instructors and get the support you need to excel. I look forward to seeing you on campus.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu/evening.
Well, Gabe Benavidez got the start, and he stymied the Jayhawks through 5. But once the Lopes went to their pen, Degenhart started the 6th, only got 1 out. A.J. Franks came in with the bases loaded and hit a couple guys, and then gave up back-to-back base hit singles. And you look up, and instead of a 3-1 ball game when the 6th started, you got a 7-3 ball game. And then Wyman comes in and just strikes out the side in the bottom of the 6th. So the Lopes go to the pen once again. Josh Sieglitz. We saw Sieglitz warming up out there in the 5th inning in case Benavidez needed him to come in. Gabe pitched well in the 5th, got out of the inning, but they went to the pen, and Hart and Franks could not get the job done. Josh Sieglitz, a 6'2 freshman out of Peoria, Arizona, and Mountain Ridge High. Sieglitz, 15.43 ERA. This will be his 5th appearance. He does have 1 start. In 4 2/3, Sieglitz, 10 hits, 8 runs, 8 earned. He's walked 4 and struck out 6. Opposition hitting .400 against him. Giving up 3 doubles. So Kansas using those big innings. It was a 4-3 lead last night for the Jayhawks, and in the 7th, they put 5 on the board, and the Lopes could never recover. It was a 3-1 lead for GCU, and in the 6th, the Jayhawks put 6 on the board. They put 12 to the plate in that 6th inning, and we go to the 7th. It'll be Foyle, Groshans, and Kuriaki. I think we'll probably see a pinch hitter for Groshans, though. Now he's out there in the on-deck circle. Fly ball to center. Pavlik has got it measured, makes the grab, 1 pitch, 1 out. Thought we might see a pinch hitter for Groshans, but he's gutting it out here. He got, last time up, he got hit by the pitch. That was the first batter that Franks faced, and the first pitch he threw hit him on that lead knee. And Groshans limped around the base paths, eventually coming in to score on the single by Carey. And it's outside ball 1. Well, Groshans the catcher in this one, or yesterday, DH here. Normally it's when you're the catcher that you get beat up a bit. Here you got beat up with the pitch. Breaking pitch inside by Sieglitz, and gets it to go on the inside corner. The 1-1. Breaking pitch in there again. 1-2. Well, we said you never know in these midweek matchups what you're going to get, and Benavides gave him a beauty. But he won't factor into the decision. The 1-2. Late on it, but fouled it back. Stay alive. Action in the Jayhawks pen. Well, after Blake Wyman came in and just struck out the side, overpowered the Lopes. Wonder if he might be done. Fly ball to right, going back, making the grab, Garrison Schwartz. The ball kind of pushing that one back toward the line, but Gary tracks it down for the second out of the inning. And I don't mean to laugh, but every time you see Groshans, he's hobbling everywhere he goes. It looks like Kirk Gibson when he hit that home run against the Oakland A's. Could barely move, and Groshans hobbling back to the dugout. David Kiriakou hit by a pitch to drive in a run and scored the 6th run of the inning. Or of the ball game, I should say. So Sieglitz pitching well here, coming in the 7th. Chop foul. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Big swing and a miss, and Sieglitz comes in. Well, they went with Hart and Franks instead of Sieglitz, and those guys couldn't get the job done. Sieglitz comes in the 7th and gets him 1-2-3. Gets his first strikeout of the ball game. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. Stretch time here at Brazel Stadium as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Schwartz, Pavlik, and Malice due up against Blake Wyman. GCU Arena is hosting Movement Day Arizona this September. Movement Day is a gathering of ministry, marketplace, and nonprofit leaders who are passionate about the Phoenix area and the gospel of Jesus. Tickets are available at gcuarena.com. Sieglitz, the freshman from Mountain Ridge High, comes in and faces 3 batters. Fly out to center, fly out to right, strikeout, drops his ERA from 15.43 to 12.71. A couple more innings like that, and he'll be in the mix. Guy on the mound, though, was unhittable. Blake Wyman came in and just mowed right through Quinn Cotton, Austin Bull, and Tom LaRouge. So now he's got the heart of the order. Garrison Schwartz, Preston Pavlik, and Zach Malice. Zach Luban out there, warming up, number 59. So Laban warming up. Wyman going to try to go through the heart of the order here in the 7th. It is a 7-3 lead for the Jayhawks. Garrison struck out in the first, walked and scored in the 3rd. Strike in the outside corner. Wyman evens the count of 1-1. Fouled off. Caught off the netting there by Pavlica. On the ball game last night, Kansas scored 9 runs on 8 hits. They've got 7 runs on 9 hits here. Lopes really helped them along with the walks and the hit batters, 17 in total. They hit a couple batters in this one. Missed outside, 2-2. Benavides walked no one, hit 1 batter, and struck out 3 through 5. Hart walked 2. Franks hit 2. 3-2 count now to lead off man of the inning, Garrison Schwartz. A couple of games later on tonight in Western Athletic Conference play, non-conference games. Gary hitting 284. Hitting 200 as leadoff man. Big swing and a miss late on that fastball up and in. So now Wyman has faced 4 and he struck out 4. Got the first 2 guys looking and the last 2 guys he's faced swinging. Preston Pavlica now at the plate. So Wyman strikes out 4 and he's going to be done. Laban's going to come in. And that's the best news for Pavlica as he was walking up to the plate. I don't know how good Laban is, but he's going to come into this ball game. I know that Wyman striking out 4 in a row. So Zach Laban, 6'3", 235 right-hander, a sophomore out of Bellevue, Washington. And Sammamish, same school that Mick Voroff went to. So he'll face Pavlica, Malice, and Wyatt. We'll get to the numbers on Laban. Zach, a 2.76 ERA. 2-2 record in 20 appearances, 29 and a third innings. 26 hits, 14 runs, 9 earned. He walked 11 and struck out 27. Opposition in 228 against Zach Laban. Did have 2 starts. This is 21st appearance. 19 out of the pen. So Laban will face Pavlica and Malice with 1 out here in the 7th. A 7-3 ball game. Well, on Sunday, the Lopes came back from that 8-run deficit. It was the biggest come-from-behind win for GSU since also overcoming that 8-0 score to beat Utah on April 25th in 1998. Pitch to Laban, a swing and a miss by Pavlica, strike 1. In that ball game, Utah scored 8 in the first inning. Lopes got 2 in the bottom of the first. Utah tacked on 1 in the second, 2 in the third. On the outside corner for a strike. Former assistant coach for GCU and then head coach of Utah, Tim Esme. That one hitting the center field. Carey coming in, makes the grab. And they're 2 down. Was the coach of that Utah squad. It was game 2 of a doubleheader. That ball game ended up being a 15-14 win for GCU in 10 innings. Lopes had 21 hits. Utah had 18. Ben Mankey started in left field, went 0 for 5, but then came into pitch and got the win in that ball game. Inside to Malice. Malice has struck out 3 times in this ball game. The winning run in that one, a bases-loaded walk in the 10th inning to Blake Woods. up high, 2-0. Blake Woods, back in the day, used to do the hidden ball trick better than anybody. Had 5 or 6 of them in that season alone. He'd go over with the man on third and chat with the pitcher, and they'd exchange the ball somehow. He'd walk over, swing and a miss, tag the runner out when the runner took his lead. Did one in that ball game there, and Tim Esme had been run from the ball game. He was up in the press box watching the game, and he saw it all unfolding. Couldn't say anything. Took his hat off and was just covering his mouth so he didn't scream out of the press box for his runner at third to stay on the bag. It was April 25th, 1998. The 3-1 pitch to Malice. That one ripped down the line and pulled foul. Count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The sports information director at the time, my good friend and guy who's done a lot of public address announcing for the Lopes through the years, Darren Phillip. Josh Hauser, assistant communications director, printed out that press release. We were looking at those. Oh, and ripped into right center field for a base hit. Will he get to the wall? Malice on his horse. Might be thinking 3. He's going to try for 3. They'll have a play. The throw hits Malice. He's safe. Well, they say never make the first or the last out of an inning at third, and Malice didn't care. Down 7-3, and after 3 strikeouts, he's going for the triple, and he got in there. Malice's first triple of the ball game. Did he have a triple last year? Or is it his first triple of his GCU career? I have to take a look, but boy, Malice with 2 outs rips one into right center field. It goes to the deepest part of the ballpark, or the second deepest part of the ballpark. And now Wyatt at the plate. Lopes gets something going here with 2 outs. Take a look here and see what Malice did. So his second triple of his GCU career. One as a freshman, one as a sophomore now. 1-1 the count to Wyatt. Wyatt flew out to center and then back-to-back base hit singles his next 2 times up. 7-3 ball game. Lopes came back from 8 on Sunday, so they can come back from 4 here, but big swing and a miss. Grand Canyon won that doubleheader. Strike 3 called. Boy, that breaking pitch just froze him. And Laban gets the strikeout, second or third strikeout of the second strikeout of the inning. But the relievers have come in and pitched very well for the Jayhawks. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, a man left on third. We've completed 7. 7-3, Jayhawks with the lead. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV.
I'm Taylor. I'm a senior here at GCU and I'm studying marketing. Moving on campus was one of the best decisions ever. Being an RA has given me a lot of experience that I think I can carry on through the rest of my life. Throughout my time here at GCU, I've needed $20,000 worth of assistance, but through my on-campus position and the multiple scholarships, I've been able to earn the money each year to pay that back, so by the time I walk across the stage, I'll have no debt.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit GCU.edu.
Lopes led it 3-1 in the third and led all the way to the 6th. 6 runs on the board for Kansas. It's a 7-3 Jayhawk lead as we go to the top of the 8th. Siglet's on the mound. He retired the 4, 5, and 6 hole hitters in order. He'll face the bottom third, Owen Taylor, Brett Vosick, and Tanner Gregg, unless we get a pinch hitter. We were talking about that coming back from that 8-run deficit. It was the biggest come-from-behind victory since April 25th, 1998. That was a WAC game back in 1998. The Lopes were in the Western Athletic Conference. Every other sport played Division II. And Utah was in the Western Athletic Conference. That sweep of that doubleheader put the Lopes at 24-21 and 12-11 in the Western Athletic Conference. That was a year they went on to win their division. Second pitch to Taylor bounces up there. Owen Taylor. Count 2 balls and no strikes from Sieglitz. 3-0. That win, the Lopes kept their game-and-a-half lead over BYU. Boy, the Western Athletic Conference was very different back in 1998. You had Rice, BYU, Utah striking their 3-1 count. Fresno State. 3-1 count to Taylor. Lopes went on to win that division. Under the dive of Signs into right field. First base hit Sieglitz has given up. He retired them in order in his only inning of work. Going to bring up Brett Vosick, the right fielder. So Taylor gets his first base hits and coming on as a defensive replacement and struck out his first time up. Now Vosick. Vosick struck out his first 2 times up. Got a base hit single to drive in a run in that 6th. Slaps one past Ty White into left field. Back-to-back base hits. So Vosick is second base hit of the ball game. So the first 2 reached by the base knock, and now it'll be up Tanner Cragg. Tanner Cragg was hit by a pitch and scored the first run of the ball game, struck out, and then drove in a run with a base hit single in the 6th. Signs playing behind the runner down there, first Vosick. They're looking for the bunt. Cragg squares, bunts it down, foul. Mentioned that good buddy and PA announcer Darren Phillip was a sports information director in 1990. He's got a note here in his notes that says Utah head coach Tim Esme was ejected during the lineup exchange for Game 2 as he continued his argument of balls and strikes from the first game. Esme not happy with the home plate umpire, went out for the lineup exchange and started barking at the guy who was now down umpiring third base, and they ran him before the game even started. Going to the count to Cragg. Esme, of course, the assistant coach at GCU, assistant coach over at ASU, went up to Utah, then came back and coached the Devils as a head coach later on. Boy, big lead, a swing and a miss, couldn't hold up. What a massive lead out there by Owen Taylor. Nobody even looked at him. So Sieglitz gets his second strikeout since coming in the 7th. I'll bring it up the top of the order and Rudy Carey. Carey doubled and singled. He's 2 for 4 in this one. Drove in a run. Carey was the guy trying to score back in the 3rd inning. Gunned down by, I went foul down the line. Gunned down by Garrison Schwartz out there in right field on a great throw. Carey in 273. 1 homer, 18 RBI. Carey, one of the Phoenix players on this squad out of Peoria and played at Liberty High. When you look at how he digs in there, he's off the plate a bit. Slightly open stance from that right side. But when he gets set and takes his stride, he's right on top of the plate. Timeout called by Meyer, and Meyer's going to slowly trot out. Signs is going to come in too, and they're going to have a chat. The 1-1 count. Jayhawks up 4, so still within slam range. See if they try to get something going with Taylor down there at second, Vosick at first. Signs not holding the runner on, playing behind him down there at first base. So Vosick going to get a good jump. And Taylor, on those bunt attempts, was getting a fantastic secondary lead. Bull's going to try to keep him close out there at second. 1-1 count to Carey. The pitch. Oh, it gets past Meyer all the way to the backstop, and everybody moves up on the wild pitch. Well, that one way outside and low, and Meyer couldn't backhand it. So now you got Taylor down there at third, and you got Vasic at second. So now 2 in scoring position as the Jayhawks try to add to their lead here. The 2-1. Fouls that one back off of Meyer. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Jayhawks back to Lawrence tonight. They've got a weekend Big 12 series with Baylor. The Lopes head out sometime tomorrow, probably close in the morning there, to long bus trip over to Las Cruces. AJ is going to graduate in the morning first, then they're going to head out. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Put it right past him, and Siglitz has struck out 3 now. Has retired 5 of the 7 he's faced. And 3 of them by strikeout. Costantino is 4 for 4. 3 singles, a double, 2 ribbies, and a run. That's a nice ball game right there. Base hit here would score a couple. Down low, ball 1. Well, maybe AJ can shake off the bad outing here. His final outing as an undergraduate and first outing as a graduate will be in Las Cruces, we'd imagine. The 1-0. He's the only one graduating tomorrow? Very young squad Coach Stankiewicz is rolling out there. A lot of sophomores, a couple of juniors, a lot of freshmen playing. The 2-0. 3-0. Now Siglitz working very carefully around Costantino, but in danger of walking the bases loaded. Walked him on 4. So Costantino's been on 5 times today. 4 hits and a walk. So Costantino will be 4 for 4 on the day. Bases loaded. McLaughlin came up with the bases loaded in the 6th and ground out to Bull. About the only guy the Lopes could get out that inning. Of course, they got 2 other guys out, but they went station to station after loading the bases. A couple of hit batters to drive guys in, then back-to-back singles in there for a strike to McLaughlin. McLaughlin has been on base 1 time today. It was a walk, and he scored in the 6th. He's 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts. 1 to Bull, 2 to Malice. The 0-1. 1-0-1. McLaughlin, 287 on the year. He is the leader of the Jayhawks with 2 homers. 2-1. McLaughlin has 10 extra base hits, those 2 homers, the 1 triple, and 7 doubles, and 21 RBI. Also scored 22 runs. Siglitz delivers the 2-1. 3-1. Now, I mentioned earlier the way Benavidez was throwing that this game was a stark contrast to the game last night. And since that 6th inning, it's started to look a lot more like the game last night. A lot of free passes and hit batters. Fouled off right side. Schwartz coming over, going to run out of room. Boy, that thing just continued to fly out there to right field. And McLaughlin just kind of reached out and flipped at it, and the thing went about 325 feet. Full count here with 2 outs. So the runners will get a chance to move here, although Taylor will be very careful down there at third. Bosick at second. Cosentino, the pitch at first. Hit pretty well. Up in the air. Pretty deep. In front of the track. Pavlica makes the grab. And so McLaughlin 0 for 4 in this ball game. And Sieglitz pitches himself into a bit of a jam. The leadoff singles and then the walk to load the bases. But a couple of strikeouts and the fly out to center. No runs on 2 hits, no errors. And there were 3 left on base. Go to the bottom of the 8th. Lopes trail it 7-3. If you're on campus, check out GCBC for locally sourced coffee, tea, and treats. That's a Grand Canyon Beverage Company located in the Student Union, Roadrunner Apartments, and Canyon 49. And get this, now serving smoothies. Head over there, grab a smoothie. It's big news. Big news out here in Phoenix. We got smoothies, baby. We're down by 4, but we got smoothies. Well, the Lopes looked in good shape, up 3-1. Gabe Benavides pitching fantastic. But they turned it over to the bullpen, and the Jayhawks have come storming back and taken a 7-3 lead. It's been the crooked numbers in this series. Jayhawks with last night's game scored 3 in the 3rd and 5 in the 7th to pull away and win it 9-4. And here in this ball game, that 6-run, 6th inning was a killer. 12 coming up to the plate in that inning. You look at the line, 7 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, and 8 left on for Kansas. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors, and 9 left on for the Lopes. Stephen Valines into the ball game. Valines, the closer on this squad, and he is a good one. Has a chance to reel in his senior year the all-time record in saves. 6'2" righty out of Lake Forest, California, in El Toro High. So Valines in there in the 8th inning, getting some work. Valines a 3.23 ERA, a record of 1-2. This is his 24th appearance in 30 2/3, 35 hits, 13 runs, 11 earned, walked 4 and struck out 40. Opposition hitting 289 against him. He's got 11 saves on the year. Only one other person getting a save, and that was Goldsberry. So he will face the bottom third. Signs Meyer and Cotton. Looks like Quiggle's going to bat for Quinn. Strike. So the lines. Nobody out there in the pen, so they might be planning. Actually, there's a guy kind of warming up, just going through the motions. They might be planning to try to get Valines 6 outs here. Foul back. 0-2. The 0-2. Up high. 1-2. Well, they're checking to see. Valines normally wouldn't come in until the 9th. They're checking to make sure this game isn't going to be shortened here because of fact that KU's got to get to the airport. And they do that sometimes on these midweek games, but haven't even gone 3 hours yet. Little chopper over the mound. McLaughlin makes the play. So we're just double checking on that to make sure. That'll bring up Josh Meyer. So Signs is retired. He was on base twice today, both with walks. Hit into a fielder's choice and then this ground out. Josh Meyer 1 for 3. A ground out to short, a fly out to left, and a double in the 4th. Out to right, foul. The ball's on 1 strike to Meyer. .286 on the season, no homers, 11 RBI. Does have 3 doubles. The lines, the pitch. Little squib shot, first base line, just foul. But that had some English on it. That first kick out of the dirt. Squibbed it to the right side. Later on tonight, Northwestern at Chicago State and UTRGV on the road in San Antonio, University of Incarnate Word. The 0-2. Outside 1-2. Well, last night, New Mexico State went down to Tucson, so they're bussing back the same route that the Lopes will be taking tomorrow afternoon, but they're already home, I'd imagine. New Mexico State lost at Arizona 11-2, but they did not play a second game, just a 1 game in the midweek. Missed outside 2-2. In the WAC, Utah Valley at Northern Colorado this weekend. UNLV and Seattle play because Seattle's that one team not playing conference. The 2-2. In the air, pretty deep to center. Going back. Carey reaches up, runs into the wall. Oh, and he's down. That's not good. And I don't think he caught it. And the training staff is going to go out. Meyer's going to keep running. And that is not good. I saw him lift his leg up, and then he hit hard out there. Carey. Oh, he called the out. What a fantastic catch that was. I hope Carey's okay, though. Oh, my goodness. Well, he's still down. And they're getting out there to check it out. So it goes as a fly out to center. And everybody hoping that he's okay. He's moving the legs a bit there. And, boy, that was very reminiscent from what I'm told of the catch that Pavlica made. And he broke his wrist on that one, was out 27 games. Now I think they're going to need some help out there. Oh, boy. Now they're going to call for some help. They're pointing in the dugout there. Kansas training staff out there. Greg Spence, the trainer for GCU, standing over by third base. Coach Stankiewicz is going to walk out there. Everybody's concerned right now. You look at this catch. Boy, what a grab, and just ran right into the wall, and I think it was on the ricochet, folks. When you look at that replay, he hit the wall, and when he fell back down, I think his head might have banged into the turf. What a fantastic catch. Yeah, I think that's where they're going to be very careful with him. But what an unbelievable catch that kid just made. The ball was bending back away from him. You can see he made the catch. It was bending back, slicing off the bat. He kind of reached up, made the grab. When he hit the wall, he came back down and his head banged into the warning track after his shoulder hit. And it's probably just being very careful about a possible concussion out there right now. So we got a pause, but boy, he's still down. What an unbelievable catch that was. And, you know, I'm being told it was a very similar catch to Pavlica. Now, Pavlica didn't bang his head at all, but when he hit the wall, he said he could tell that he had that broken wrist. He's up, and he's standing to his feet. They're just going to be really cautious with him. He's walking off and lost the hat. Might have knocked the wind out of him. He really connected with that wall very hard to knock the wind out of him. And then when he came back down, might have banged his head. So he's going to come out of the ball game. He's going to walk off himself, a little groggy, and that is good to see. Boy, what a catch. Rudy Carey banging into the wall and tracking that one down and robbing Meyer of extra bases. Walking off, chatting with the training staff, and I'd imagine that he's going to come out of this one and maybe go into a little walking very tenderly, but walking on his own. And Staff got out there in a hurry, and he seems to be okay, but just a little groggy. Drops his batting gloves as he's walking up. Now we're going to have a new center fielder out there. Wow. So Carey out of the ball game after making a phenomenal catch. He's got family and friends, I'm sure, in the stands because he's a Peoria kid that are very nervous about that. But it's good to see him walking off. And the crowd, once he can get close enough to hear it, gives him a round of applause. One of the best catches you're going to see in a long time, folks, as he tracked that one down, and mainly because he had to go a long way to get there. So he gives way. And Mateo Zanika is into center field to replace him. So now with 2 outs, Kona Quiggle to pinch hit for Quinn Cotton. So Quiggle at the plate. That pitch misses outside. So we're being told we're going to stop playing at 4:15 regardless of where we're at, what's going on. So we got about 18 minutes, 19 minutes left in this one. So we're going to miss. So I think Kansas was a little worried that they might not get a chance to run their closer Valines out there and get him some work. So they brought him in the 8th inning. So there is some action down in the pen if we have to play that 9th inning, the bottom of the 9th. The 1-1 to the pinch hitter. High and away, but they call it a strike. And so 1-2 count to Kona Quiggle. Hitting .260, the freshman. No homers, 6 RBI. The 1-2. Foul back. The 1-2. Who checked his swing, and that ball looked like it got past the catcher and caught the home plate umpire a bit there, John Schiller. 1-2. (7-3) ball game in the 8th. That one ripped. Nice play by the second baseman, Casatino. Throws from his rear end and gets the play. Everything working out for James Casatino. He has been on base 5 times with 4 base hits, an RBI, and a run, and he makes a stellar defensive play there. We've completed 8. 7-3. Jayhawks with the lead. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV.
There's an exciting new destination for food, fun, and relaxation in the heart of Phoenix. Come to GCU Hotel and Canyon 49 Grill, where our hospitality management students gain hands-on workplace experience and deliver unmatched service right alongside the staff. Enjoy beautiful amenities like the resort-style pool and full-service fitness center. From the gaming lawn and patio to the artisanal coffee and teas of GCBC, you'll never want to leave. Room rate $79 per night. Visit GCUHotel.com to book your visit today.
7 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, 8 left on for Kansas. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors, and 9 left on for GCU. Josh Siglet's out there for his 3rd inning of work. Came on in the 7th. Got him 1, 2, 3. Gave up a couple of base hits and a walk in the 8th, but got out of that inning, and he is on to pitch the 9th. The Lopes led this thing 3-1 until the 6th inning. 12 came to the plate. For Kansas, they scored 6 runs and now lead at 7-3. Foyle to lead things off here. Foyle, Groshans, and Kiriakou. And Jax Grosjean's on deck, a tough guy. He took one off the knee earlier, still in there. And there for the strike. In there for another strike. 1-2 the count to Foyle. 1 ball, 2 strike the count. Foyle walked and scored in that 6th inning. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Couple of ground outs and a fly out, but that walk in the 6th came in to score the 4th run of the ball game. 3-2 now the count from Sieglitz. Still guys down in the pen for GCU, but this is Sieglitz' ball game. They're hoping they can get him home, and he hits him. Man. Well, this has got to be a series record for the Lopes, even in a 2-game series. This is a guy who got hit his last time up with the bases loaded and brought a run in. Back in the 6th inning, Grosjean's came up in the 6th and got hit by a pitch to drive in a run, and the very next batter, Kiriakou, got hit, and he drove in a run with that. Grosjean's has been limping ever since that time. But they've decided to leave him in there. 1-0. Boy, the Lopes pitching staff just struggling here. Missed outside. They walked 11 and hit 6 yesterday. They've only walked 3, but they've hit 4 today. Benavides hit 1. Franks hit a couple. Sieglitz has now hit 1. In their first strike, 2-1. Down the third base line, foul. Boy, it's interesting to me that Grosjean's is still out there hitting. Man, every time he swings the bat, he then starts kind of limping down the first base line. He wants another AB, though, I guess. Talk the coaches into leaving him in there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Kiriakou on deck. The 2-2 in the air to right center. Bending back to Gary. Gary's going to try to double off the runner. He throws behind, and they got him. Foyle doubled off. Gary showing off the arm. A little bit of life for the Lopes there. Boy, Foyle went halfway down and took his time getting back, and Gary threw behind him. Look at that throw. Nice play by Signs with a stretch. Don't see that double play very often, but now nobody on, 2 out, and Kiriakou. Big swing and a miss. The 0-1. Fouled off 0-2. Well, if you're looking ahead for GCU, the top of the order. Bull, Arouge, and Swartz due up. We're assuming Valines won't come back out there, but maybe he will. The 0-2. Popped foul. Is that going to be in play? Malice coming over. They run out of room. Malice slid, and then Sieglitz slipped. Everybody okay? No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the 9th. Kiriakou. David Kiriakou, the third baseman, 226 on the year, 1 homer, 15 RBI. Oh, hit him in the helmet. Oh, man, and Sieglitz. Boy, Kiriakou hitting the helmet with that pitch. That thing just got away from Sieglitz, and Josh has his got his glove over his mouth, and now they're going to get a pinch runner and Kiriakou. Well, another hit batter, and boy. Yeah, you could hear it hit the helmet. Not sure if it caught him a bit too, because they're working on him now to see if they might have to stop some blood over there. So we'll see it at the replay. Yeah, it caught the helmet, and then right on the side there, it looks like. And he tried to bend back out of the way. Fortunately, he was able to do just that. So we're going to get a pinch runner in there. It looks like it's even number 7, Ty Denzer. Going to come in to run with 2 outs here in the 9th. Well, we thought we'd be able to get this in. They got to get out of here at 4:15 to catch a fly, but we've had the stoppage on the great catch in center field that knocked Carey out of the ball game, and now Kiriakou going to come out of the ball game after being hit by the pitch. Denzer now going to be the pinch runner. Taylor at the plate now. Boy, another hit batter. I've never seen the Lopes in the number of years I've been doing this ineffective at finding the zone. 6 batters hit yesterday, 5 in this one. Unbelievable. 1-0. You know, we've played Kansas 4 years in a row. This might be it. He hit 11 guys, and all of a sudden Rich Price says, I'm a nice guy, man, but I don't think I want to come back out here. The 1-1. Two and 1. 3-0. Sieglet's a little rattled after that one, and he walks him. Well, that's a tough one as a pitcher. You obviously you don't want to hit a guy in the head. And sometimes that can mess with your psyche a little bit there. So Sieglet hits the batter. Kiriakou. Denzer comes on to run for him, and now Taylor gets the 4-pitch walk. Bosick at the plate. Low and inside, ball 1. The 1-0. Ground ball, right side. Bulls got it. That's the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 9th. 7-3, GCU trails by 4. Hey, don't forget, folks, GCU TV will be streaming all commencement ceremonies these next 3 days, so none of your friends and family miss out on the celebration. For times and more information, visit gcu.edu/commencement and watch the stream live on YouTube and gcu.tv. Congrats, class of 2017. I guess Barry Butel's doing the play-by-play of commencement because I didn't get the word. Are we going to have a play-by-play on commencement? That'd be cool, right? President Mueller walking to the microphone. President Mueller making an announcement. Check it out, though, folks. gcu.edu/commencement. Exciting times around here for GCU. Folks getting a chance to graduate and move on to the next stages of life here. The Lions back on the mound. Well, we didn't know if he would come back out here, but he really wasn't tested too much in that 8th inning. Got him 1, 2, 3. A couple of ground outs and a fly out. So Valine's going to go ahead and try to close this thing out. Not a safe situation, but getting him some work. The Lions only threw 15 pitches. And we'll face the top of the order. Bull, LaRouge, and Schwartz. Jayhawks head home after this. Catch a flight. Wait for Baylor. The Bears coming in town for 3 Big 12 ball games. Lopes go to graduation tomorrow morning, and then hop a bus to Las Cruces. How's that, AJ Franks? Congrats on your graduation. Get on the bus, and we're driving to Las Cruces. Weekend at New Mexico State for graduation. No, he's going to be ready to get back on the mound. Did not pitch well or effectively today. And AJ is a competitor. He is definitely going to want to get back out there as quickly as possible. First pitch in there for a strike to Bull. Bull's had a tough time. 0 for 4. A couple of strikeouts. One swinging, one looking. A fly out to right and a ground out to short. Fouled off. Bull's had a tough series against Kansas. He's had 3 strikeouts, base hit, single, and a walk. That single, though, was his first at-bat last night. Jayhawks trying to push their record to 21-20 overall. Lopes would drop to 19-21 with a loss here. Fouled back. Well, if we truly do have a drop dead at 4:15, meaning we're going to stop this game right at 4:15, we got about 4 minutes left. So if we have to stop, we just call it a tie? Is that what we do? The 0-2. Up high, 1-2. Nobody wins, right? Valine's the 7th pitcher used. We were told early on it would be a staff day. Things were looking good for the Lopes until that 6th inning when they gave up 6 runs. Ooh, Valine's falls off the mound. Seems to be okay. Boy, that's kind of scary for Kansas. 2-2. Bull tried to lean that lead arm over there and get hit by the pitch there, trying to get on base. The 2-2 pitch. Chopped down to third. Throw over in the dirt. Nicely scooped by the first baseman over there. 1 up and 1 down. LaRouge now at the plate. Sends the new third baseman over to Taylor, and nicely done by the corner there. Taylor with the scoop. LaRouge at the plate. Tommy hitting .340 on the season. 1 homer, 17 RBI. Tom's 1 for 3 with a run in this one. He also walks. So he's been on base a couple of times. His first 2 times up. And Valines, that one gets out of his hand and slips. And now Valines has trouble catching the ball thrown back from the umpire. Well, Bull 0 for 5 today. Garrison Schwartz in the on-deck circle 0 for 3. Signs 0 for 2. Lopes have 7 hits in this one. Just 3 runs to show for it, all coming in that 3rd inning, all off the 3-run homer. Fly ball into center field. Zuniga coming over, slides and makes the grab. That ball being played a little bit, and Zuniga on his knees looks up at the left fielder foil. Like, that was a little bit more difficult than it should have been. Lopes down to their final out here. So Schwartz looking for his first base hit of the ball game. He struck out twice and walked and scored in the 3rd. Pavlica on deck, the 3-run homer, the only scoring for GCU. Swing and a miss. Now Garrison got 2 hits in the ball game last night, 2 for 4 with the RBI, but 0 for 3 in this one. Swing and foul tips it in the mitt. Lopes down to their final strike. Valines showing why he's got 11 saves on the year. Won't get a save here, but pitching well. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Gary strikes out 3 times in the ball game. Kansas gets the sweep. They win last night 9-4. The final in this one 7-3. They come back from a 3-1 deficit with 6 in the 6. 7 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, 10 left on for the Jayhawks. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors, 9 left on for the Lopes. Kansas goes to 21-20 overall. The Lopes drop to 19-21. The Jayhawks head home to face Baylor. The Lopes on the road for the biggest WAC series of the year at Las Cruces. Lopes currently lead New Mexico State by half a game. We'll know a lot more after that one ends. Thanks for tuning in. The school year might be ending, but baseball carries on through the summer. The Lopes head to New Mexico State this weekend and return home on May 5th for a 3-game series against Seattle U. Thanks to Scott, Gina, Jake, Connor, Brock, Stephen was here, Barry Butel for stopping by. Follow Grand Canyon University on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GCU. I'm Michael Potter. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night, and go Lopes.